Motor Speedway, they've cranked the engines here on pit road. On the pole, Jeff Gordon in the DuPont Chevrolet. It's his third consecutive pole with a Coca-Cola 600, 183.773 miles per hour. He won this race back in 1994. It catapulted him to greatness. He's a 95 champion. Outside of the front row, Ricky Craven in the Kodiak Chevrolet. He's a good friend of Gordon's, but he wants to beat him today and go on to victory himself. Now let's go to Patty Moise. Patty?
One of the big stories down here is Rusty Wallace in the 2 car starting at the rear of the field, having taken a past champion's provisional. However, in yesterday afternoon's last practice, he was one of the faster cars, and I think we should keep an eye on him. I'm sure he'll want to make some bold moves to the front early on. And now down to Steve Burns.
Folks, who's going to win this race? There's no clear-cut favorite tonight. But what about Michael Waltrip? He broke through last weekend and won the Winston Select. Tonight, he starts 8th, and he's got a real shot.
Well, there's a couple of other guys that are very, very interesting in this field. That is Terry Labonte. Terry Labonte, one of the quickest cars in practice. He goes off in 5th position. Right behind him, possibly the surprise in this starting grid, it is Chad Little. The Busch Series veteran is trying to make a go of it here in the 600, possibly get the victory lane. What he really wants to do is finish and finish well. So Chad Little is the surprise here in the early, or at least up front in the starting lineup. Let's go back upstairs to Ken Squire.
Charlotte, North Carolina. It is the epicenter of American stock car racing, and right now it's all beginning to happen here. White knuckle time on this 1.5-mile track.
Well, you can feel the excitement in the air. You really can. If you ever tried to do a picnic and suddenly it rains and then you think it's all over, well, that's what we thought maybe was going to happen today. But it's going to be race day, and it's going to be race day in just a very few moments.
Ken, I'm not driving, but my hands are sweating. I'm telling you, I'm ready for this to get on the way. 600 miles of the best stock car racing anywhere in America.
Veterans or the new kids? Last 2 years, Gordon and Bobby Labonte. Veterans or the new guys?
Boy, I tell you what, I wouldn't pick a winner right now. Even the way I take chances, I wouldn't take a chance on picking a winner right now.
And that comes from one of the fastest drivers in the history of NASCAR. Back to the STP Pit Communications Center and Rick Benjamin.
Ken, a lot of stories we're going to be keeping track of for you all evening long here in the STP Pit Communications Center. 43 drivers will be taking the green very, very shortly. And if you'd like more information on this event, you can be online with us. Turner Sports. We've got Phil Parsons, former Winston Cup winner, Busch Grand National Series regular. Here's the address on the World Wide Web, the internet, http, CNN.com. Chad, dial him up. Phil will answer your questions. And our AutoZone race analysis here this afternoon, nearly $1.7 million in purse money for the 43 cars. 400 laps is 600 miles around this 1.5-mile tri-oval. The race record set just 1 year ago, nearly 152 miles an hour by Bobby Labonte, who's hoping to win once again here today. Pole sitter last year, Jeff Gordon. This is the 3rd year in a row he's been on the pole. And you can see his speed this year just a little behind what he was able to notch in 1995. Bobby Labonte, the defending champion. Remember, Gordon won his first ever points-paying Winston Cup event here in 1994. And as Ken alluded to, this could well be a race that sees a first-time winner in victory lane. It's happened the last 2 years. Gentlemen, I think there are some guys who certainly might be able to get their first ever Winston Cup victory here today in the Coca-Cola 600. They've fired the motors on pit road, ready to send them off for a couple of pace laps. We'll be back to bring you the start after this.
The big dogs begin to growl. The Winston Cup cars out here for the 37th annual Coca-Cola 600. A couple of extra technical laps to run them down pit road. They're running them through in sections here, getting the track just as dry as possible to put a little extra emphasis on the pit road area. Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at the starting lineup for the 1996 600. His 3rd consecutive pole, the defending Winston Cup champion, Jeff Gordon. Flanking him back from that disastrous crash at Talladega, Alabama, from the state of Maine, Ricky Craven. In row 2 from Indianapolis, Indiana, his best qualifying effort of the year, John Andretti. Beside him, the runner-up in last year's 600, Texas Terry Labonte. going to the next row. There you have Bobby Labonte and Chad Little, and what a job of qualifying he did. In row 4, winner of yesterday's Grand National 300, Mark Martin, and the winner of the All-Star Classic here last Saturday night, Michael Waltrip for the Wood Brothers. In row 5, it's Dick Trickle and Lake Speed. In row 6, John Benson Jr. from Michigan and Todd Bodine filling in for the injured Bill Elliott. Get well soon, Bill. In row 7, Jeff Burton and Derek Koch. Row 8, Dale Jarrett, winner of this year's Daytona 500, and Kenny Wallace. Row 9, from Midland, Texas, Bobby Hillen Jr., and from Pennsylvania, Mr. Excitement, Jimmy Spencer. Row 10, Wally Dallenbach Jr. from Colorado, and the great Dale Earnhardt. Row 11, Steve Grissom from Alabama, and Ernie Irvan won here in October of '93. He's back and ready to go. Row 12 is Ken Schrader and Jeremy Mayfield, the Kentucky native. Row 13, Hut Strickland and Rockbridge, Bass, Virginia's Rick Nash. Row 14, Michael Wallace and the 5-time winner of this 600, Darrell Waltrip. Row 15, Robert Presley's number 33 with Greg Sachs to take over in that car, and Ricky Rudd, his 20th start in this Memorial Day Classic. Row 16 is Jeff Bodine and Kyle Petty, the 87 winner of the Coca-Cola 600. That for the Wood Brothers. Row 17 from Portland, Oregon comes Chuck Bound, and from Florida, Joe Nemechek. Row 18 is Ward Burton, and the winner at Talladega last month, Sterling Marlin of Columbia, Tennessee. Row 19, Bobby Hamilton out of Nashville and Morgan Sheckler, runner-up here in '87. Row 20 is Ted Musgrave and Brett Bodine. The 21st row, Dave Marcus, his 28th start in the 600, and Elton Sawyer. Starting shotgun on the field, the winner of the event in 1990. Look out, here comes Rusty Wallace. In-car cameras, we have 9 of them today. Chad Little having trouble here before we get to those in-car cameras.
He's apparently lost oil pressure, Ken. They're going to push the car off again, try to get it fixed. If it's just a belt, maybe they can get him going. And, gee, he had that great starting position.
6. And a heartbreaker after such a great qualifying run. And they changed motors again. You're on board with Steve Grissom starting in the 21st position. His roof cam look. Remember, they'll bunch the field up. He's back in 21st. Now you're with Mark Martin. You're in 7th position, down on the inside of row 4. And from his roof camera, down that 1,360-foot backstretch. The 99 car, Natalie Burton out of the Roush Racing Team, getting ready for his go in this great classic. He'll have a tough tussle. He'll be running from 13th position. There he is getting ready. 3 cameras on board there. Over 34 cameras for today's race. And then there's Labonte. Bobby Labonte, defending champion in the event. From 5th spot, he'll come, and there you see the 4 in front. Terry Labonte, his brother. Remember that dramatic finish last year? Bobby Labonte across the line, Terry right behind him in 2nd spot at the end of 600 miles. A couple more provisional laps, and then we're down to it, ladies and gentlemen. 600 getting ready to go in Charlotte, North Carolina. Glad you're aboard. Another lap before they're turned loose under green, and it's a dramatic moment for Chad Little, the winner of the 300 a year ago, after the previous year destroyed his shoulder, broke an ankle. He's just rolling out here, number 97. We can get more on that story from Randy Pembroke.
Well, they had an oil belt come off the car. They stopped in Joe Nemechek's pit. Chad had shut the car off, as we saw. It was on the front straightaway. They pushed it around, stopped in Joe Nemechek's pit. Those guys had an oil belt. They put it on the car. They fired it up. I didn't think that it sounded right. They went back under the hood for a second time. He now has it fired, as you can see, coming back to join the field. And he's going to try and make a green flag start here. He's going to rejoin him.
Scheduled for 6th position. Finished 13th yesterday, was running in 3rd, and he comes from the rear of the field before he had trouble just at the end of that race.
In addition to all the cameras Ken talked about, we have 8 cars with in-car cameras. We have 51 microphones here, 20 tape machines in the trucks, 45,000 feet of cable have been laid, 175 people on duty to bring you this broadcast.
Watching this coming down pit road another time. They still haven't got the problem completely straightened out. We're also seeing the number 71 of Dave Marcus on pit road, but Chad Little is in as well. Little going directly to his pit. He stopped at the Joe Nemechek pit the last time, thought it was a belt, and his folks were ready to help out Nemechek's folks. There he is, back on pit road another time. Chad Little, the 87 Winston West champion. We mentioned he broke his shoulder and his leg here in 94, came back in 90, got a mild concussion out of that one too, came back in 95 and won that 300. And was so up. Put the hood down. Not sure what the circumstance is as they're getting ready to go green. Jeff Gordon, in 1990, he'd never driven a stock car, although he won in everything else just about. Went to that Buck Baker School over in Rockingham. Came back and said, this is for me.
Ken, we have a report that Chad Little's motor has gone south on him. He's no longer able to ride, so they're pushing it back into the pits.
Horrible break for Chad Little. 42 cars at the ready, coming to the green flag, and the 37th annual 600 is underway.
You see Ricky Craven there taking over the lead from the outside there. He got a big jump on Jeff Gordon as they go down the back straightaway, Ken.
Looks like Craven is in to lead the first lap of this one. See Andretti riding third, Labonte in fourth as they clear turn 4 first time around. 42 strong come to the line. And the real American racers put it down hard into turn number 1, about 190 in there.
Craven changed an engine this morning. This is the first time this thing has been up to full song. Heavy traffic in the back, yeah.
You can see Grissom loose down on the bottom for just a moment. They're having to scramble to keep it together. And Ricky Craven's going to lead as they come around for lap 2.
Well, you see Ricky Craven there. He's running just a little bit higher than Jeff Gordon. But right now, the whole racetrack is clean. We had a rainstorm that washed all the oil off the surface of the racetrack. So it should be good traction for everybody, no matter where you're at on the racetrack.
Up in front, you see the battle, and further back, you see the battle in the pack as they continue to scramble. Grissom a little loose there, but the others are back up. Rudd coming up on the outside of him. Up in front, it remains Craven and Gordon coming around to complete lap number 3. A little further back, it is Michael Waltrip in 6th, Martin in 7th, Blake Speed is up to 8th, Trickle is in 9th.
Three wide. Whoa! Down that front straightaway, Steve Grissom was right in the middle there. Not a good place to be. Look at this shot. That is Hud Strickland coming right in behind the Budweiser car, getting straight.
25th position. You're riding with Strickland, looking back at Schrader.
Well, you see a little time. Deep in the field.
Rush hour traffic, folks, on Memorial Day. Charlotte Motor Speedway with 4 complete.
Mark Martin there in the 6th car, and Michael Waltrip in the 21. And Lake Speed has had a great 2 weeks here at Charlotte. Had great test programs, run very well in the Michigan Open, ran well in the Select. He's very high on this car.
Michael Waltrip won that Select, but nobody has run better here than Mark Martin, who has won 4 of the last 5 starts here at Charlotte.
Martin has moved up into 6th, Waltrip to 7th. Now Waltrip back another spot, Speed to 7th, Waltrip falling to 8th. Whoa, Strickland in trouble. The number 8 car, Hut Strickland. Here's your battle for the lead. Get back on that Strickland story in a moment as Jeff Gordon turns up the heat at number 24 and comes after the pride of New England, Ricky Craven.
We're talking about youngsters, Ken Squire. The kid that's in the lead just had his 30th birthday on Friday of this week. The driver right behind him just turned 24 not so terribly long ago. And then there's John Andretti. He's 32 years old. We have a youth movement up at the front of the racetrack at this time.
The question is, will the youth movement sustain 600 miles and win for the 3rd straight year? Let's take a look at what happened to the number 8 car, Strickland, as they tighten up in front. Buddy?
Okay, you see Strickland going in underneath there. It looks like he just got the air off the rear spoiler. He twitches just a little bit. He actually wrecked. He just didn't hit anything.
Craven still in front. John Andretti drops to the inside. The son of Aldo Andretti, John Andretti, gives it a wild ride, his best qualifying mark of the season. Here comes Terry Labonte in the number 5.
His brother right behind him, and you're riding with Bobby Labonte, the winner of last year's event. Currently riding in pit spot in that green and black number 18 car. Same car he won with last year. In fact, that guy's got 3 Winston Cup wins, every single one in that one car.
Just behind Bobby Labonte is the guy that's on a hot streak right now, Mark Martin. He's moving up with the front group right there. He's sitting right there waiting on the guys to make just any kind of mistake, and he'll move up.
Coming around a complete 9 this time. Craven staying out in front. Many said he wouldn't be ready to race for 2 or 3 months or for the entire season. And here he is leading. And less than a month ago, that horrendous wreck at Talladega. Now Gordon exerts pressure on the inside, and Jeff Gordon is going to scoot back in front. Craven trying to block Andretti and knocks a hole in there, and in some way able to stay in second spot as he made the cut.
How do you do that?
Well, Andretti just did not get far enough up towards the door there for him to see him, and he'd come over. I wasn't really blocking him. He was just getting his line back. You see Terry Labonte trying a little bit higher groove there on John Andretti. In a second, that may work on the outside for him because he's really strong in that second groove.
Many consider Terry Labonte the favorite in the 600. This is his 516th consecutive start. He's had a great season today, from 30th to 3rd since Rockingham in the Winston Cup point standings. Terry Labonte at number 5 is on a roll, and here you're riding with Mark Martin in 5th position in the Valvoline car.
You see Terry trying that high groove. He's just working it in right now. Nobody's run up there, and he's just moving his groove up a little bit for later on. You see him making a move to the outside of Andretti as I speak.
Ford on the inside, Chevy on the outside, the 37 Andretti and Terry Labonte.
And Mark Martin's running one of his famous races right here. He's just sitting here watching them race in front of him, waiting to see which line goes the best, and I guarantee he's going to school on which lane is the quickest right now.
Texas Terry is giving a school as to how to run this racetrack. Boy, that number 5 car is very strong.
1984 Winston Cup champion Terry Labonte, who never looked stronger. Taking a look further back, and you're looking at the car number 19 as it continues to ramble out here as we go back further in the field. Check out some more of the racing as you see Dick Trickle, who had that second place yesterday, holding off Johnny Benson. Now Benson around, taking that spot away. And 3 wide here. Hamilton down to the inside. Up on the outside, going around Kenny Wallace is Bodine, Jeff Bodine.
Boy, Kenny Wallace's car looks very, very loose getting into turn 3. That's the part of the racetrack that has a lot of sunshine on it right now. He looks to be very loose getting in the corner.
All of this is back in 27th position that you're watching right now. Here's Grissom trying the outside in the 22 on Hamilton in the 43.
And that's a really good point, buddy, because right now the entire front stretch, turns 1 and 4 are in the shade, turns 2 and 3 are in the sunshine. And the drivers face a very different racetrack when they're running in the shade versus running in the sunshine. Got to be really, really alert so you don't make a mistake under these circumstances.
The 43 of Hamilton there is handling quite well. He passed him right on the bottom part of the racetrack, merely inches off the white line. That car is really working well, and he's tight enough. You didn't see it wiggle or anything. I think Kenny just dropped back a little bit, Kenny Wallace, and he's just riding it out right now until he can work on the car.
42 cars, first 14 laps, caution free. Kenny Wallace trying to close in a little, and coming underneath him, making a run on Wallace in the 81 was Chuck Bound. Now here is Jimmy Spencer, and just in front of him is Bobby Hillin. Hillin's in 15th position, Spencer's in 16th, and behind him comes Earnhardt, the ever-present force in any race in which he appears.
He's got a good one right behind him. That's Ernie Irvan in 28 there, working that higher line, trying to get by Earnhardt as they come off turn 4.
And Ernie Irvan hasn't. Ernie Irvan getting around and picking up a spot on one of the great winners on this track.
What a story on Ernie Irvan last year. This race was the very first time he was really out in public after his horrible August 1994 crash at Michigan. He came here, he just sort of wandered around, tried to keep the press away from him, tried to keep fans away from him. And Ernie just kept saying he was going to come back, and look at him, he's running real well today. He is back.
The first heartbreak of this 37th annual 600 is standing by with Patty Moise right now, the story of Chad.
Chad, a really tough break out there after a wonderful qualifying effort. Tell us what finally put you out.
Well, it appears that the oil pump belt came off, you know, when we were during the parade lap. And by the time I noticed it, you know, it had done enough damage to the motor that we lost. I mean, it probably seized up a lot of the bearings, and I can just feel the motor just ready to blow right now. So, I mean, it had no power at all, and the belt was off. So we put another one on and started it. It would run, but it's just ready to blow right now. And what makes the belt kick off? I don't know. It could have been a rag from another car. It could have been something internally with the oil pump that just happened. But it's just bad luck for me and Sterling Cowboy. It's just that's racing, as they say.
Tough break for Chad, and back to Ken now.
Johnny Benson in the 10th position. And back for the lead. Here comes Labonte in the 5 up on the outside. You saw Benson making a great move. He's been coming on. Here's Terry Labonte taking the lead for the first time.
Ken, for 2 weeks now, we watched everybody run right around the base of the racetrack. Terry Labonte has set his car up to run a higher groove. You see the groove he's running there? It's really working for him at this particular time. Now, whether it'll work all night or not, that's another question. But right now, he is flying.
Take a look at Todd Bodine and Bill Elliott's number 94. What a ride he's giving that car. He's moved around Hillen and pulled up in the 14th spot. Hillen back on the inside. And that Jasper, Indiana car, the Jasper Engines machine, number 77, stays right there with him. Hillen and the 94.
That back of that car was dancing. I'm going to tell you what, Bobby Hillen showing me something. That car jumped sideways and kept his foot in it. You see him drive right back under Todd Bodine as they go in the corner.
Great floor.
This is Todd Bodine's first ride in this car. He's got the ride until Bill Elliott returns. They say Bill Elliott will return for the Brickyard in August. Everybody's looking for that.
Race that on 15th position is Bodine. Right behind him, you see Jimmy Spencer. And here comes Ernie Irvan on a tear. He drops onto the bottom. Look at Ernie Irvan. Pour it on. That Robert Yates, number 28.
Now, Jimmy sees him. He does see him. He gives him room. Ernie's under him. You see the car kind of slide up there. That's when that air gets off that rear spoiler, and you have to tiptoe by when you start getting sideways like that.
Yeah, look who's right behind Irvan, too. It's the Intimidator.
Steve Burns can add to the problems that Dale Earnhardt. We can add some information about the problems that Earnhardt is having.
Dale Earnhardt doesn't usually talk much on the radio, but he has radioed in to Richard Childress and said the car is awfully tight. I keep fighting it off the corner. Richard said, just keep it closed this segment and we'll make a change. Their changes are going to raise the crack bar. And guys, we have heard many, many drivers talking about how tight their cars are early in this race.
Earnhardt trying to make that move. Will Browning in the News and Record from Concord, North Carolina once wrote, if you want drama, get Earnhardt. If you want 600 miles on the ragged edge, get Earnhardt. If you want reckless abandon, get Earnhardt. We've got him today.
Somebody better get that 6. He's on his way.
Yeah. Steve Meal said this morning that thing is a rocket.
I can see it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's right. I think. As soon as I say that. John Andretti is fighting Meal. Look at Lake Speed move up. Boy. He's all the way up to 4th.
Perfect right there.
He knows how to win, you know that?
Oh, 4 out of 5 at
No, I mean, he knows how to win, though.
Yeah.
You never see him fighting anybody. He passes them or either he drops back, you know? Never gets up there and wrestles.
Oh, Terry is running an awfully high line. expect him to get in trouble.
I think he is too, buddy. I think if he keeps running that line, they're just they're going to close up on him and they're going to get him on the bottom.
Naysayers. Yeah, that's great. Good.
Okay, I think he's going to get him, though. They're starting to close in. He's running up there. He's got to be wearing his tires more. He's wearing his tires too much. Where is the 2 car? He's still stuck.
Got a long way.
Yeah, he's 33rd.
He is half a lap down right now, though.
We're back at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. It's been green all the way for the first 28 laps. 42 drivers battling. Only one of the 43 starters dropped out. That was Chad Little right at the start, a motor problem. And take a look at this battle here. There's Bodine, the Bill Elliott, number 94, and he's been hot and heavy with Schrader. He was hot and heavy with the Jasper car a little while ago. He can't get away from Jimmy Spencer, all in that cluster fighting for 17th position. Schrader's car looking over at that McDonald number 94. They can look back and forth at each other.
I doubt they do, though. 94 is one of many cars here today that has a bit of a different paint job. They've got a Monopoly promotion going on, and it's painted like a Monopoly game.
They trail the leaders by 11 seconds, and only 11 from first back to 17th, 18th, and 19th.
Well, they better decide this pretty quick, because they got a man that's right behind them there that don't wait a whole bunch of time on them. If he's Spencer, you see Sterling Marlin there in the Ford just behind the 2 that are fighting it out here. As they run side by side, they're not able to run a good clean line around the racetrack, and look at the traffic jam behind them.
Meanwhile, up in front, Mark Martin, he looks like he's on board the Enterprise today, circling the globe on a 1.5-mile track. Ah, look at that. Jimmy Spencer on the outside. Sterling Marlin on the inside. As that war continues, 19th position at stake.
And this is just the kind of stuff that has brought a record crowd to Charlotte Motor Speedway. Biggest crowd ever to see a Winston Cup stock car race here today. They put another 8,000 seats in the backstretch grandstand area. Sold every one of them. Probably if they had another 15 or 20,000, they'd have sold them too.
125,000 folks lucky enough to get tickets. Another 40,000 standing around. Just gapers having a great day. Ooh, Rick Mass sliding a bit. And here comes Kyle Petty up on the inside for 21st.
Well, Kyle Petty looks like he's solved some of the problems as far as the way that car handles. He's able to keep it right down on the white line, then 1 and 2. And his line in 3 and 4, look, he's almost running off on the flat through the corner.
Take a look at Rusty Wallace back in 32nd spot and charging. Remember, he's come from dead last. He's picked up 10 spots. Grissom closing up on him on the outside. Just in front of him, Dave Marcus, 3 wide, coming down the main straightaway. The door gets closed. Still 3 wide. Whoa, Jeremy Mayfield up the middle.
This morning when Robin Pemberton found out that the furthest back anyone had ever won this race in terms of starting position was 20th. And by the way, that goes all the way back to 1960. He said, well, stand by. Our record's going to be broken. He thinks that car is a whole lot better for the race tonight than it was in qualifying.
You can see Jeremy Mayfield just in the 98 RCA car there. Tells Steve Grissom to go on the inside. He's not handling well at the moment. And they do that. They communicate with hand signals through the back window there. They'll put their hand up inside the car and tell them which side to go on when they're not handling quite well.
Take a look at Dale Jarrett here in the number 88 as he continues his charge. Dale Jarrett has had some good runs here. Won some Grand National races on this track. Trying to make it all happen here in the 600. The first time that he has pulled that one together. He is running the 9th position. Now you're looking at the number 77. That's Hillen, and just behind him is Derek Cope. So Hillen in the 77 is fighting with Cope. That's for 11th spot. And for the moment, Hillen has 11, dropping Cope in the 12, back in the 12. Here's a battle for 2nd spot. Mark Martin just keeps turning up the wick.
see,
after Gordon.
You see, he's almost a half a car length lower coming off the corner there. Mark Martin is a master at setting the car up for later in the run. He never runs really well when they drop the green flag, but 10, 15 laps into a run, you see Gordon's car start up there. Mark Martin's a full half car length under.
I'll tell you what's a bit worrisome for everybody else. Mark Martin has this race car set up exactly the same way he had his Grand National car set up yesterday. And remember, he won yesterday. Last fall, they did the same thing, and they pulled off a clean sweep. They won on Saturday in the Grand National and Sunday in the Winston Cup. And it's just the same car. It's the same Winston Cup car. Exactly. It's got a new body on it, so it's a little faster of anything.
Well, you're riding with the man we're talking about. This is Mark Martin's car as we come off turn 4 there and start down the home stretch. Not an empty seat there.
Mark Martin has said, I don't know what strategy is. I just race. The strategy is to win. There are long races, and you can't count a lot on what happens. You just decide as you go on what you think is going to give you the best chance to win. Great physical condition. Probably puts more time in working out, getting his body as strong as possible for these races as anyone on the circuit. Remains third. Gordon stays second, and up in front is Labonte. Looking further back for the moment, Andretti, where the speed is in fourth. Great speed has slipped right up into fourth and stays there. Andretti fifth, Craven sixth, and Michael Waltrip is into seventh. Here's Ricky Craven following John Andretti. They're back in fifth and sixth position. Andretti 5, Craven 6.
You know, Ken, I think that Ricky Craven, right now, he was injured in Talladega in a horrifying crash. He qualified quite well, but right now he's pacing himself because I'm sure he's still just a little bit sore from that accident. I'm sure he's running this race 600 miles. Right now in his mind, he's saying, I'm going to make sure I have something left.
He is only sleeping 2 hours at a time a night. He didn't want to be on medication. And so he gets about 2 hours sleep, and he has to get up and walk for 20 minutes because the pain is still so bad in his back, but you wouldn't know it right now.
Yeah, when I asked him, Ken, whether he thought he could make the whole 600 miles today, he said, I think so, but I've really got no reference to what happened to him at Talladega, and obviously never happened to Ricky Craven before. He just doesn't know if he can go the whole 600 miles. Right now he looks awfully good, doesn't he?
Doesn't happen to many people, and have them walk away from him. Watch Andretti, and back up front. There's Labonte still taking that high line. And here comes number 6. Here's Mark Martin charging down to the inside. He's underneath Gordon in a fight going into third spot. Give it to Gordon. Gordon pulling back around, but here comes Martin edging up on the inside out of 4 over that ripple strip, those bumps there. Martin has it again. Back to the line. And it's Mark Martin into second place and closing up his Lake Speed in number 9. Mississippi's Lake Speed with his best run of 1996 puts the Melling Spam can down to the inside on Gordon.
Boy, oh boy, I'm getting cold chills just hearing you. That's great racing, though. You see Lake Speed having a run of his career right now, passing Jeff Gordon to go into third place. Look how low this car is on the racetrack. It is really handling.
And look how high Gordon is running on the racetrack. He is having a problem keeping that number 24 on the bottom.
Steve Byrne standing by with Jim Long.
This is one fired up victory. Jim, how in the world are you guys running as well? What have you done?
Well, the fortunate thing is we're not as tight as everybody else is. But we're still a little bit tight. We're going to have to work on it as the race goes on. But it's early in the race yet.
Long way to go, but he looks good now.
We're going to go to break and then be back with more of this great race. 42 laps, 42 cars under green in the great challenge here today on Memorial Day. Labonte leads.
Promotional fees and consideration has been paid by the following. STP, celebrating 25 years with Richard Petty. A partnership in racing and high performance. STP, drive a better car. Hanna-Barbera, and by Budweiser.
Car number 5 has just lapped the 39th place car, Todd Bodine. But the big story right now is just behind Texas Terry out in front. is the remarkable Lake Speed. The Pride of Mississippi is having a great run. He has 8 top 10 finishes, gentlemen, on this track, including the 3rd place in the 600 back in 1987. But it sure looks splendid to see a Melling car have this kind of a run. Number 9 in 2nd position.
It sure is nice to see. Harry Melling hasn't had a top 5 finish since 1991, and his car is a rocket today.
5th place at stake here. Here's Craven going to the inside. Tags Andretti. Slaps some paint out of turn 4. Oh, and that opens it up for Michael Waltrip. Kind of hole he found the other night when he dove beneath Terry Labonte and Dale Earnhardt in turn 1 to win the Winston Open and $200,000. He's on a charge right now. Wood Brothers, 4-time winner of the 600, have Michael Waltrip at the keyboard and closing up on Craven.
You see the lights coming on here at the racetrack. The fastest car in the lights the other night, the 21 of Michael Waltrip.
Here's the leader getting around, the number 98. Mayfield going a lap down. They're trying to sort themselves out through traffic here. Boy, some tough run. Here's Burton, brother Wallace in the 90, the Heilig Myers car. Leading down by the, here comes Lake Speed.
Full field of cars, only one DNF so far. We're 50 laps into this event, and virtually everybody remains on the lead lap. 41 cars on the lead lap. Can't be. That's what scoring says, but it can't be that many.
Can't be that many. Yeah, they got 40. Probably, you're right, it's 39.
Well, almost everybody is. They haven't lapped all that many cars. A very competitive field.
Kyle Petty working his way along that Ford Sabatis ride. And coming right with him is the 94. Boy, what a charge being made today by Bodine. This is back there in 21st position. On pit road, Bound. Chuck Bound now on pit road, number 94, 95, 95.
You can see Rick Klass going in the corner there. One of the things the Pontiacs have been complaining about is going in the corner, the nose of the car actually coming across the racetrack. It looked like he cut Todd Bodine off going in the corner, but it's merely because that car will not turn going in the corner properly.
Mast in the number 1 car is running in 22nd, and the McDonald's car with Todd Bodine is directly behind it. Now you see Michael Waltrip focused. Boy, I'll tell you, he's focused in 6th spot.
The other guy that's focused is Bobby Labonte on the high side, passing John Andretti.
I think John's he's not handling quite right now, and they've told him to ride it out until the first pit stop. That's a very smart thing in a 600-mile race, is not to eliminate yourself. Wait until you can work on the car on the first pit stop.
Well, they've also had a bunch of DNFs this year, and they don't need to have another one here. They need to finish this race, not just have a good finish. They've got to be around at the end.
Down to the inside, Bobby Hamilton. Spencer, 19th position at stake. And Spencer has it for the moment. Spencer stays 19th. Hamilton takes it away.
Boy, he made it look easy. That bottom line is starting to become a factor again. It's really quick down there. You can see Spencer going back to...
Oh! Kenny Wallace.
That's on pit road. He spun coming into the pits.
No caution. It is very greasy there. And Kenny Wallace in that square D car brings it in. Randy can add to what happened.
Well, you guys called it. He hit a little wet spot. It is still a little damp on pit road. Came down pit road. It appeared at speed. Scheduled pit stops now starting. Ricky Rudd now on pit road. He will pit just up for me. But Kenny Wallace just flat lost it and went around and continued on towards his pit. But scheduled pit stops, they are going to be a little early as Ricky Craven now comes down pit road. They want to take a look at these tires since all that rain came down. They want to make sure that they don't go too far and have a problem.
56 laps, 84 miles have been completed. 84 miles, Craven is in. Kenny Wallace completing his stop. Here's Craven and already battle scars on the side of number 41. Take another look at what happened to Craven. Potladine pitting.
Here comes Kenny Wallace in the pit road. You see the rear tires locked up. He tries to correct, he overcorrects. Now the car is starting to go back and forth. He did a very nice job of not getting over into the pit wall there.
Strickland pitting, Nemechek, Andretti, Benson all on pit road. Now we see Sterling Marlin coming onto pit road. We mentioned that Todd Bodine had brought the Elliott car onto pit road. This is all happening at lap 57. 57. Bobby Hamilton pits. Mast is pitting. Dick Trickle brings number 19 onto pit road. Coming by is the leader. Terry Labonte stays in front, and the battle for second still is a tight one at the present time between Lake Speed and Mark Martin. Now Gordon pits, and behind him comes Morgan Shepherd, as well as Wallace. Mike Wallace.
What they're doing here, you see, nobody really expected the rain that we had this afternoon. It changed the racetrack, very dramatic. Certainly, this is the first opportunity that they have had to adjust the race cars, also to check the fuel mileage.
Earnhardt in 13th position on pit road. John Andretti away. It gasped for a moment and then started. The 15 coming in as well. Dallenbach. Let's go to Steve Burns.
Dale Earnhardt in. They're going to change 4 tires. Now, they talked about their strategy before they came in. If the jack goes up on the left side, they're going to raise the track bar, look at a left rear rubber, and Dale has also said, let's pull the fenders off. He may have had a little tire rub. He's down and away. A very good pit stop.
Hillen is in. Jeff Burton comes in. Grissom, Michael Waltrip, Schrader, still all pit. Musgrave now. This is all now in lap 60. Green all the way among the 42 starters. And Mark Martin brings the car that has been running in second place on pit road. Still staying out there is the leader, the guy taking the wide way around the racetrack. Still has some magic in that car number 5, Labonte in the lead. Drops down, but I don't think he's coming in. Let's see what happens this time. Here he is. He's going to make it in. Looked like for a moment he's going to make another lap out here. Leader is on pit road. Terry Labonte in the car number 5. Kellogg's colors looking good.
Boy, look at that pit crew go to work. You know, when you change 4 tires at a regular tire store, it takes half a day to get it. These guys are doing this in 18 seconds.
And one of the reasons that this crew is so good is that they have stuck together for so very long. During the wintertime, a lot of these teams shuffle crew members, not these guys. Ready, set, off he goes.
Best finish in this race, second, behind that younger brother Bobby. And there's Bobby pitting right now a year ago. Here's Randy.
Robert Presley just climbed from the 33 car nursing broken ribs. An insert goes in the seat as Greg Sachs jumps into the Skoal Chevy. They have turned the engine off. He's trying to fit the steering wheel. He lost a lap on the racetrack. As soon as they get Greg situated, he'll pull off. Rusty Wallace pits behind Greg Sachs. Rusty Wallace has a major problem. They can talk to him, but Rusty cannot talk to the crew to tell them what is wrong with the 2 Miller machine. So Rusty pits behind. Greg Sachs gets ready to lead the pits.
That is a major problem because Rusty Wallace talks to his crew and tries to tell them what the car needs every time they go out. After each stop, he tells them whether it helped it or hurt it. This can hurt him in the 600.
The 33 car pulling out. New driver on board. Sachs.
Took a lot of work to get him into that car. The problem really is that Sachs weighs about 50 pounds less than Robert Presley, and he stands about 4 inches shorter than Presley does. So they had to put an insert in the seat, and that was part of this change.
Dave Marcus is leading. Number 71 is out in front. The prodigy car for Wausau, Wisconsin. Native Dave Marcus. Great moment for him. Elton Sawyer second. Riding along with Brett Bodine in the 34th position, the Lowe's car. Remember, he crashed his number 1 car out here in qualifying back on Wednesday night. Still trying to make up some time out here. Take a look at this. Here's Schrader in the 25. He's continuing to work. He's in 12th position, fighting with Sterling Marlin. Just got him to take 11th spot. With him is coming Earnhardt, just behind him there. Johnny Benson in that batch. This is all back there for 11th position. Just in front of him is Ernie Irvan, who's broken into the top 10.
That's the first time I've watched the 3 car go through the corner of Dale Earnhardt right on the bottom. It may have helped this car bunch when they made their pit stop.
Schrader in 11th position. We can get more on the 3 car, Steve Burns.
We talk a lot about the technology. Dale Earnhardt on the last pit stop, they are going to raise the track bar, pull out a spring rubber, so on on and so forth. Dale radioed in a moment ago and said, hey, the car's a lot better, but next time, would somebody clean the windshield?
Morgan Shepherd just made a second stop and came back on the track. An update from Patty Moise on pit road in these latest green flag stops. Patty?
Yes, we were standing in the pits for the 5 car, and we noticed that besides 4 tires, they also took a round of bite out. I'd been talking to Gary Dehart, the crew chief for the 5 car, earlier today, talking to him about yesterday's Busch race. I'd noticed how great Terry had been running in that high line, you know, really making it work for him. And Gary said, yeah, that he enjoyed it up there, and that really worked for him so good. That was one of the things they worked on in yesterday afternoon's practice, was making this car work in that same groove.
Right now we're watching the groove of Earnhardt in 13th position, Patty. Gets around Benson. They were side by side. And take a look here at Terry Labonte working on Ricky Rudd. The 10 car looks like it could be getting lapped. It's back in 28th spot.
They got a lot of trouble with that car here, Ken. That's one of the cars that the crew has just not been able to get consistency out of. Richard Broom, the crew chief, said this car runs like it's got a thorn in its shorts. We never know how it's going to behave.
It's where?
It's right in its shorts. Some days it's wonderful, and sometimes it just doesn't run well at all. It's like they're in one of those it doesn't run well at all modes.
27 cars remain in the lead lap. That's 27 cars, all still fighting in lap 1. We've completed 72 laps under green. They've traveled 108 flawless miles, flailing each other out here in the Coca-Cola 600. If you're just joining us, folks, look at Kyle Petty at number 42, clearing the 27 as he continues to attack. Gets around Elton Sawyer. Derek Cope, Bobby Allison's car, carrying new colors, new sponsorship now. Very excited about that. That number 12 in the 17th position. And look at some of the 125,000. They just keep adding 10,000 seats every year. Now, how about this? Kenny Wallace up around Elton Sawyer.
Sawyer's racing hurt today. He's got a couple of cracked ribs. Going to try to tough it out. Said this morning he was going to try to run the whole 600 laps, 600 miles.
You can see Greg Saxon at 33 there, subbing for Robert Presley. He's really got this thing running well right now. I'm sure Robert Presley was glad to get out there with a broken rib. Anybody who's ever had a broken rib knows what I'm talking about.
And try to drive at those speeds with the G-load you carry into these 24-degree corners. Here comes Bobby Hamilton.
Wait, haven't we seen this before, Allison and Petty?
I think we have.
The car owners for these two cars battle just like this, side by side, lap after lap, here and at many other Winston Cup racetracks, year after year after year.
18th position right there, given to Hamilton. Cope back 1, and just behind him, 20. Here's Kyle Petty, who won this race in 1987. Terry Labonte stays first, Gordon second, Mark Martin third, Jarrett fourth, and Michael Waltrip is now third.
Bobby Hamilton has had a good year in 1996. He's never won one of these contests, but he's hot. He is fifth in the laps led, believe it or not.
Look at Earnhardt here. He goes by Kenny Schrader right on the bottom, kind of moves up a little high in the center part of the corner. Now he starts down the back straightaway. Looks like Earnhardt's car might have twitched just a little bit on the high side there. What that could be is the car pushing just a little bit there, and he tried to turn it before it was ready, and it kind of wiggled back.
Earnhardt 11th, 12th is Schrader, 13th is Sterling Marlin.
Earnhardt's car is wiggling a little bit. I wouldn't really worry too terribly much. If anybody can take a wiggling car and have a crew that can work on it, fix it, make it work correctly, Earnhardt is the guy.
You know, a lot of times the car can be handling perfect, and as you go through drafting like that, and change the airflow over the top of the car, it'll make it twitch like that. I didn't imply he wasn't handling it, so if he's running the best he's run all day.
Schrader on the bottom. Sterling Marlin, who won Talladega on the high side, and that yellow number 4. Schrader's one of those guys that has had problems with the car not being consistent. Last night they said they were just junk, but they look pretty good today.
Yeah, and look at the right side of that valance in the center part of the corner. It was actually dragging the ground. That is 3.5 to 4 inches of clearance to get through inspection. Look at it bounce right there, right on the valance. It's hitting as it goes through the corner.
How much weight on that right front tire when you pop it into the corner, buddy?
I've heard anywhere from 4,000 to 6,000 pounds of downforce as they start in the corner.
About 190 miles an hour into turn 1 here on this mile-and-a-half track. The famed Charlotte Motor Speedway. TBS honored to bring you the Coca-Cola 600. We'll be here for 4 more years to do that as well. We're thrilled about that. We'll take a quick break and be back as we watch Terry Labonte out in front, trying to put it back in victory lane another time.
Get Jim Porter. Okay. Okay.
Hey, Ken.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I've got a good story when the racing calms down a little bit about that Carly Brayton Memorial Trust. They've raised over $10,000.
I have the same story, but it'd be fine if you did it.
Just whatever, it doesn't matter.
That's great. No, let's break it up. Why don't you do it? They handed me that as it came up. And talk about the fraternity down there in the pits did it. The racing community. Before church this morning or church this afternoon collected 10 grand.
We lost the monitor here.
Mark Martin, they're already talking about taking rights, so
it's on okay. There we go. I got it back. Yeah. Haven't seen Robert Presley yet. I don't know if he's on his way over or not. I was told he was planning to come over. Welcome back to the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Rick Benjamin here in the STP Pit Communications Center. The Coca-Cola 600 finally underway, a little bit late, but we've run caution-free so far. Let's take a look at where the Winston Cup point battle stands at this point. After 10 races, Dale Earnhardt, the 7-time champion, on top over Jarrett and Terry Labonte. Jeff Gordon, last year's winner, sitting 4th. Sterling Marlin, and Ricky Rudd, Ricky Craven, 8th. Musgrave, Ken Schrader, winless for a long time, but still in the top 10. And Ken Squire, he's a driver who had a great run going here 1 year ago before falling out with 40 to go.
That's so easy to do. You can name driver after driver who've come just that close, and it's gone away from them. Well, right now we're seeing a change of leadership. Jeff Gordon is back in front another time, dropping Terry Labonte in the 2nd spot.
That's what teamwork does. They made a pit stop. They were falling back. They dropped back almost to 4th place there. They were in 3rd and a chance of going into 4th. They made the pit stop. They corrected the handling on the 24 car, and now he is flying around the racetrack.
Another look here, buddy.
You see Jeff Gordon going down in the corner on the outside. You can see the 5 car just backed off and said, hey, it's too early to contest the team car.
2 smart teams, 2 smart drivers. That's exactly the right way to play it at this stage of the event.
So Jeff Gordon is back in front. Remember when he won this race in '92, he was 22 years of age, his first victory, some moment. Well, he's back in front. Now take a look at Mark Martin. He's back in 4th spot, and there's Michael Waltrip right there in 5th. And here comes Michael to the inside.
Boy, if Waltrip working on the bottom of this racetrack, you see him going by Mark Martin, he made it look awfully easy.
He looked like Mark Martin on the inside the other night.
You know, here's an interesting point. We've had 2 first-time Winston Cup point winners in the last 2 runnings of this race. What do you think Michael Waltrip's chances are of winning his first ever Winston Cup race this afternoon? He is running extremely well.
Darn good. Over 22 as it continues to try and find its way into this thing.
I don't want to speculate on a 6th car, but he is having some kind of problem at the moment. I don't know whether it's handling or what, but he is dropping back. Ward Burton just went by and drove off about 5 car lengths when just before they made the pit stop, the 6th car was one of the fastest cars on the track.
And Ward Burton has not been having a good day at all. I mean, he's running out of the top 30. There goes Lake Speed down on the inside. He's running in 6th spot. There is something amiss for Mark Martin right now.
Clear.
Go back to that tire story for a moment, Dick Berggren, because I think it's an important issue as far as this race is concerned, what these guys were doing and their concern just last night.
Well, Steve Meal, crew chief for Mark Martin this morning, said they are having no tire problems whatsoever. In fact, they didn't stuff any tires in at all. They couldn't tell you whether one of them is a loose set or whether one of them is a tight set or whatever it might be. A lot of the teams are about 50-50. Half of the tires are scuffed in so they know what their characteristics are. The other half are not. So it all depends on who you want to listen to. Some of the teams say the tires aren't a problem at all.
But trying to find them that match up, that's been the thing they've been talking about.
Yeah, and they can't really get them to match up because no matter what they've done to try to find what matches a pair up, they can't do it. And Goodyear basically says the reason for that is the tires are all absolutely identical. It's the teams and not the tires.
For 10th place, Earnhardt on the inside, trying to go beneath the man he gave a break to, Ernie Irvan. Gave him a ride in a sportsman car a few years ago, and it set Ernie Irvan on his way. And Earnhardt gets him this time. It's Dale Earnhardt back to 10th. Ernie Irvan dropped to 11th.
Earnhardt's one that only has 3 sets of tires scuffed in. They're just going to tough it out and presume that every single set of tires is the same as every other one.
Ken, a lot of times in a 600-mile race, if the guy's really running well like Earnhardt, you'll go by and let him go by, and then you'll study where he's running on the racetrack and change your line around the racetrack, and sometimes it works, sometimes not. If your car's too loose, you can't run the bottom.
Well, here you see Andretti back there in 20th spot now. And with him comes Rusty Wallace. And Wallace from 42nd position is rambling. Doesn't he ramble? Look at him come along from 42nd up into 21st and closing, getting back into traffic. Wally Dahlem back down on the inside. Rusty, who won the last time out, Simona, California, the Great Sears Point Road Course.
In fact, he's won 2 out of his last 3 starts.
Let me add something to this. They have to go right now because Jeff Gordon and Terry Labonte are just seconds behind them to put them a lap down. So Rusty Wallace, if he has anything hidden, he better use it right now.
Replay of yesterday went the entire distance with 1 caution late in the going, and Mark Martin won that Grand National race. We have now covered 93 laps, gentlemen, 93 laps deep, and nary a caution flag has flown. 139.5 miles, and the action is unbelievable in this 37th annual Coca-Cola 600.
I don't even want to see this thing 25% of the way over, Ken Squire. This is a good race all the way through the field. I mean, you can look at almost any position, and there are 3, 4, 5, 6 cars all fighting for that position, and all very well equally balanced, just like this.
Derek Cope in 18th position, Kyle Petty in 19th. Here's Bobby Hamilton moving up on Nemechek.
Sachs had a good run in that number 33 car after the driver change. He did most of the practicing in that car. Rusty just sort of stood around and watched his race car go around the speedway. Sachs did most of the work, as it should be, since he's going to have to run most of the laps here this afternoon.
They built that special seat for him. I guess he finds it comfortable.
Chuck Bound's going to return to the racetrack. He has left the pit area many laps down.
Now take a look at number 2, Wallace, closing up on Andretti. This is for position. Wallace, Rusty Wallace in 21st, Andretti just in front of him in that 20th spot. Kyle Petty drops back. This will put him in the 20th. They've taken Kyle down a spot. Those 2 cars have overtaken these. They still stay bumper to bumper. Rusty got his problem solved in the first round of the pit stops here. He was only 1 and 9/10 seconds from going to lap down. Now he's right back in the thick of it. Wow, there's a problem on the 5, and Randy Pemberton can tell us more.
Well, it's another radio problem. He cannot talk to his crew. The crew can talk to him. When Terry goes by on the front stretch, Gary Gehart told him, if the car is loose, touch the door. If it is tight, put your hand up on the roof. 3 consecutive laps. Terry Labonte put his hand up on the roof. They radioed back to him, said, next time you will pit about lap 120, and we'll loosen that baby up for you. So, they cannot get specific. You can't talk about air pressure. You can't talk about wedge. So, it's Gary Gehart, the guys in the crew.
See, now there are a lot of race fans reading Winston Cup, and they say, how to take those radios out, how to go back to the way Baker when he used to run those early races. What do you think, buddy?
I love the radio. I tell you what, there wasn't anything great about cutting sideways in the corner.
All right, getting up toward 100 laps complete. No cautions as yet. Gordon leading, Jarrett, Labonte, Michael Waltrip, and Lake Speed. Yeah, 35.
They're telling me this is going to be pretty short, so we'll have you out of here right quick. Okay. Are we at lap 100 yet? Not quite. 90, 95, 98. We're on at 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Welcome back live to the Charlotte Motor Speedway and our coverage of the Coca-Cola 600 here on TBS Sports, race 11 of the 1996 Winston Cup season, on board with Dick Trickle. We are live, of course, here in Charlotte, joined by Robert Presley, who just got out of the Skull Racing Chevrolet. You've got that cracked rib from last week. How racy is the track after all the rain we had?
Well, I tell you, the racetrack's in great shape. You know, everything, got a lot of oil off the track. The racetrack's fast right now. It's a little bit tight, but you'll see a lot of people changing as the day goes on.
Long pit stop to get Greg Sachs in your race car, but you're 15th we're told right now. That's a good run.
Well, you know, we had the car set for Greg, and, you know, Greg practiced it all week for us. We went longer than we thought we'd have to, so I felt pretty good, but we're going to let Greg make up some time here and hope we get out here with a good finish in the old Baptist Chevrolet.
All right, hope you're feeling better soon and able to run all race long next week. Thanks, Robert Presley, for stopping by. Ken Squire, back to you.
Actually, they dropped down now out of the top 30 with that stop. We're watching Dave Marcus come back on pit road, and let's reestablish the field for you. In the first position is Jeff Gordon. See just in front of him the 94, about to go a lap down. That's the 22nd position car. Now here's the 88, Dale Jarrett, winner of the Daytona 500 for a second time. Back here in January, pull that feed off. He's in second spot, and he's being shown 2 3/10 of a second behind the leader, Gordon. Now running in the third spot at the present time, there you see the number 5, the Kellogg's car, and that's Terry Labonte. Running in fourth for the Wood brothers, innocent code number 21, Michael Waltrip, having an excellent ride through the first 1/4 of this race. We're at lap 106 at the present time as you look at Michael, winner of that Winston Select. There's course, your fifth-place car, Lake Speed, stays right in the midst of this festival of speed here today.
You can see his car. He is actually able to pull the left front below the white line in the corner. That car is really handling well. He dropped back just a little bit on his pit stop. I think he may have had a problem, but he is getting around the racetrack quite well.
But let's talk about Dale Jarrett in the 88 for a moment. We haven't given him much of a call thus far. He's having some run.
He started all the way back in 15th spot, Dale Jarrett did, and now he's got himself up to second position. Bob and I now has gone a lap down. They should be having pit stops coming up in not too terribly long.
That's Dale Jarrett in the 88 there. He is making great advances towards the front right now. And you know, in the Winston Select the other night in the first segment, it was about this time in the night, and that was the fastest car at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
And why you stress this time of night, buddy?
Well, I think he set his car up for this time of day because had it started on time and all, it would be almost closing time here, and you can see that Dale Jarrett really has his car working.
And he's cut it from 2.2 seconds down to 1.6 on leaderboard.
A fair bit of the pre-race hype has been about Ford versus Chevrolet, and a lot of the Chevy guys said, NASCAR's giving him the storm. Ford's going to run off with this thing. Well, we got a Chevrolet in the lead, a Ford is second, a Chevrolet is third, a Ford is fourth, and so on down.
Sounds like politics, doesn't it?
Well, it is politics. What they're all trying to do is they're trying to get a little more concessions from NASCAR, but NASCAR is going to be smarter than all these guys because they've got them all running the same. It's the driver that counts. Jarrett in the car.
Jarrett in the 88 trailed by 8 seconds after those pit stops. Now it's less than 2 between first and second spot.
By the way, the chassis dyno is in the garage area. Gary Nelson told all these guys in the drivers' meeting this morning after it's all done and over with. The fast cars are going on that chassis dyno, going to find out who's got a big engine, who's got a, I shouldn't say a big engine, a strong engine.
Excuse me, strong engine.
Yes.
Right. Now you do.
Yeah. Good race here.
Yeah, look at 21. Michael Waltrip down to the inside. Moving in on Terry Labonte in the number 5. Just in front of them, Jeff Bodine in the number 7. He's in 24th spot, about to go a lap down.
Terry Labonte cannot run that high line much longer like he's running. He's almost up in the gray part of the racetrack, and I guarantee he's wearing his tires out a lot quicker than the people down in the groove.
Remember, Dick, that's just me through the last 30, 40, let the next 30 laps.
Yeah, but you know, Labonte's really almost up at about the 5th row of the bleachers now. He's running up so high on that racetrack. This is not a dirt track. There's no cushion up there.
He grew up that kind of racing out there in Texas. Boy, he looks good right now, and doesn't Michael Waltrip look grand? Yeah. Wood Brothers seeking that 5th 600 victory. Last year did it with Kyle. They've had so many great moments here. Did it with Neil. All right, buddy.
Ken, that's what I'm talking about right there. I knew time was on my favor there. You see Michael Waltrip making a move on Terry Labonte. They head into turn 3. You'll see that Terry will make a move here. He'll start up the racetrack. Now watch the 21 close right back in. Next lap.
He's there, though, isn't he? Michael Waltrip is definitely there, knocking on the door. First place at stake. 113 green flag laps. Flawlessly driven. First section of this race. We completed 169.5 miles. Nobody has put a wheel out of line. What a fantastic event. And this battle for the lead continues. We still have some 20 cars in the lead lap. Make that 22. Make that 23. Come on, Michael.
Can't do that, buddy. Hey, you know how they're always talking about how you got to have a brand new race car in order to go fast? Look at that number 21 race car. That thing won on March the 20th, 1993 at Atlanta Motor Speedway with Morgan Shepherd behind the wheel. That's the last Wood Brothers point win.
Got one car coming in slowly. There's Jimmy Spencer in. Greg Sachs is also in at this time. We're beginning to see the opening of the envelope on the second set of stops on pit road, and they're going to come under green, apparently.
What do you think of so many green flag laps yesterday and today, too, buddy?
Well, I think the racetrack is in great shape, and I think the guys have a great tire here, and I think the cars aerodynamically are much better than they were in the race last year here. As you see Terry Labonte taking that outside groove there, and you see Dave Marcus giving him a good run right now. And when I said that a while ago, guys, I promise you, I don't have a favorite. I like Terry Labonte as much as I do Michael Waltrip. It's his car is just not working well right now.
Car number 41 just came in. Craven made a routine pit stop and back underway. Andretti is on pit road as well. We mentioned Spencer has come in. And the 94 car with Todd Bodine has also come in. This is at lap 116. The fewest cautions in the 600. There have been 2 races run with 2 cautions. One was 62. Nelson, Stacy, and then 63. That was all right, Doctor.
Sure, easy for you to say.
Maybe Lorenzo.
Well, let's talk about some favorites to win this race. And, you know, buddy, I don't think anybody would be unhappy to see Michael Waltrip win. This is his 310th Winston Cup start. He has never won one before. I'll tell you, everybody in the house is pulling for a first-time winner.
Take a look at that 22 hanging right in there. Had some problems earlier, but they look like they're getting them sorted out. In the 31st position now, Ward Burton, number 22.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I think Ward Burton might be one of the fastest cars out there.
Steve Burns.
Dale Jarrett is in the pits. They talked about chassis adjustments. They're going to take half a pound of air out of the right front. Jackman comes around and slams it down. Blood nuts are loose and the left side tires go on without a problem. Let's see. Dale Jarrett's down and away. Let's go to Randy Pemberton.
Well, the Rainbow Warriors ready for Jeff Gordon to come out pit road. He follows Jeff Burton into his stall. The Warriors go around the right side. A wedge wrench goes into the top right rear, leaving the windshield. One round of wedge for Jeff Gordon. Right side tires already done. Working on the left. Patty Belize has got Terry Labonte stopped.
Yeah, the 5 car is in the pit. The 4 tires stopped. We know they've made an air pressure adjustment. They have not gone to the chassis as far as taking vibes in or out. Keep away.
Average speed.
Dale Earnhardt down here in the pits. This is a lightning fast pit stop. They also go take a rounded wedge out. They also clean the windshield. Back up here.
He asks and it is given. Average speed 170 miles per hour to the second green flag pit stop. The old record 151.9. 1995, Bobby Labonte pulled it off, and right now they're shattering records in a great Coca-Cola 600. Stay with us here on TBS.
Promotional fees and consideration have been paid by Valvoline, Plastic Coat, and by Steel Power Equipment.
Bobby Labonte has inherited first place, the man who won it last year, 32 years of age. And look at this battle between 88, DJ Dale Jarrett, and number 24, Gordon. This is the scramble for second spot. Gordon came out of the pits after leading in 7th spot. He is back to 3rd. Bobby Labonte stays up in front, and it has been a tremendous struggle between Jarrett and Gordon for second position over the last 2 laps. Labonte has a lap on the field. He has yet to pit.
He pitted last on lap 62. He will have to come in soon and give up that lead, and this will then become the lead.
Just behind them, running 4th right now, is Michael Waltrip, and 5th is Terry Labonte.
You see right now that Jeff Gordon's trying to make a move on Jarrett as they start into turn 1, and just in front of them, that's Bobby Labonte, just in front of them there.
Now,
they're running him down.
How did he get so out of sync with the rest of the field?
I don't know, but he better shake a leg because that 88 car of Jarrett is really flying around this racetrack, and he's holding a very low line. You see him going in the corner right on the white line there. This car is handling quite well now.
Bobby Labonte in the 18 just in front of him, the car they call Little Joe. It won 3 times in 95, including this 600. That's the same car, the number 18 that pulled it off a year back, giving that magnificent victory out of turn 2. Bobby Labonte, a lap up on the field, but has not made the stop. I believe everyone else has at this point. Last of the leaders to pit in that first round of stops.
Now, whatever was ailing Terry Labonte just before he stopped, he seems to have it figured out because he just went by Michael Waltrip as we were talking there. Look at this. There goes the 88 of Dale Jarrett into the lead.
No. Remember, he's a lap down.
lap down.
Yeah, that 18 is yet to pit, but he hasn't come in.
He was the only guy on the lead lap.
The only guy on the lead lap, and the strange thing is, they say he's not really out of sequence, but he came in so late. I think he may be getting ready to pit right here.
He better pit pretty
exactly.
quick.
I mean,
as we speak, he's coming in.
Yep. Randy Pemberton is there, and we'll follow the story of Bobby Labonte in the Interstate Battery Chevrolet as it comes down on pit road.
Well, they're awaiting Bobby Labonte to arrive in the pits, and he has. Jimmy Makar, the crew chief, with the jack. It was great strategy to stretch it as far as they could go. If they caught a caution, they would have had a lap on the field. Bobby Labonte has won this race before. They're already around the left side. So far, nice smooth stop. Second can of gas going in. Bobby gets a cold drink, throws it out the window, clean the grill, waiting on the left front. Real slow on the left front. They don't like it. Down and away, 21-4. Could have been better. Not bad.
Bobby Labonte started in go-karts, lined up behind Terry, and their dad told Bobby to follow his older brother, get used to racing. Bobby passed Terry, and he wouldn't let Terry back by. Afterwards, his father asked him why he didn't follow instructions. He said, hey, my brother, I wanted to win.
Instead of Bobby leading now, he is a full half lap behind the leaders.
He's got some work to do, and here's the battle for first. Dale Jarrett is there, two-time Daytona 500-mile champion with Jeff Gordon, the winner of the 600. And that victory 2 years ago right there. Look at him just ease that number 24 up on the outside. Masters at their work here today at the Charlotte Motor Speedway in the 37th annual Coca-Cola 600 live on TBS. Delighted to have you with us to enjoy one of the great races.
What an emotional win that was for Jeff Gordon 2 years ago. Remember him in victory lane, wiping his face, and he was in tears. I think everybody in this place was in tears when he won that race.
He was in tears the whole last lap, he said. It's a wonder he found fifth lane and victory lane. Here he is about 3 car lengths down, out of turn 2. That backstretch is so different going into 3 than going into 1, buddy.
Very much so. You have a nice transition into 3. You see the car going in right there. Now, if you'll watch the 24, he's a little bit tight coming out of the corner. He kind of gets high there and has to turn the wheel to get it off the corner, and it kind of throws the back out as he starts in. But the 88 car, you see him going in turn 1 there. There's a little rise as you start in, and the good handling cars are able to stay down low.
I'll tell you what, I wouldn't count Bobby Labonte out, even though he's not in our picture right now. In the first round of stops, he went 2 laps further than Jarrett. Second round of stops, he went 12 laps further than Jarrett. So he is getting very good gas mileage.
Hey, anybody dropped out of this thing besides Chad? Have we lost anybody?
Oh, we have contact there. Todd Bodine got into the wall off turn 4.
We've completed 100. He's continuing to motor. We have 134 laps complete, 201 miles. As far as attrition's concerned, 2 guys are out. Chuck Brown with handling and Chad Little.
I could see the dust when he hit.
Man, he killed that wall. Do we have it? Oh! I said turn 4.
What? Yeah, but you said it 5 seconds after.
There's only one turn 4, guys. Yeah. It didn't seem to bother him. He's just stroking right along.
From the Duralube aerial platform, watching the 94 Todd Bodine, running in 21st right now, the Elliott colors. Giving it a good go on the 1.5 miles here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. There you see Hutch Strickland dipping down to the inside, trying to take that 21st slot away, and he's got it. Almost. Almost. Right back comes Todd Bodine on the outside. I don't care what position it is, they'll fight you every inch of the way.
I got to tell you, he's a brave man, because he hit the wall just a little while ago with the right side coming off turn 4, and that didn't deter him a bit. He's been right in the throttle.
A few laps ago, the 99 and the 94, that was Burton out there, Jeff Burton, and the 94. Take a look at this from a few moments back.
Trouble on the home stretch.
We got a caution coming out. Marcus hard in the wall, torn the whole front of number 71 off. The Prodigy car slides across the track into the infield right at the start-finish line. Marcus in the 71, taking a hard hit, running in 31st position. David appears to be okay. Take a look at the front of that car. Now that's at lap 141.
He's got the window net down. You can see him moving around. They do tell him in the driver's meeting, if you're all right, put the window net down. Dave Marcus has done that.
211.5 miles are complete. What a sad ending for Dave Marcus, the all-time veteran of this race. Dave Marcus has had more starts in this 500 than anyone else, and for the 55-year-old campaigner, native of Wisconsin, who finished 6th here back in 1974, this is what happened to his day.
It looked like he and John Andretti might have made a little contact in that turn. Marcus straight towards the wall, and he hits almost head on there.
You can see some heavy skid marks up to the wall. They really tell the story just before the start-finish line as they go out to administer to Dave Marcus. Pit stop should be happening. Marcus's car, that's a front clip for sure. And there you see the scribbles on the asphalt. What happened here to Dave Marcus?
It's a long time to think about going to be hitting the wall.
So the field begins to saunter on pit road. This is the first time they have pitted under a yellow flag condition today. And Steve Burns is on pit road waiting for the other Dale Jarrett.
Dale Jarrett slides in. The crew goes to the right side. I don't think they're going to make any kind of a chassis adjustment. This is just going to be 4-tire change. And looking at a split screen situation here. Again, 4-tire change, no chassis adjustments. Let's go to Randy Pemberton.
It was an air pressure adjustment only on a 4-tire stop for Jeff Gordon. Pitted behind him, Ricky Craven, as well as Lake Speed. Speed down and away. 4 tires for Craven, a little slow on the left rear, and he's down and away.
Ricky Craven came in 9th position. Jarrett and Gordon duking it out as they came down pit road. Back with more of the action of the Coca-Cola 600 in a moment.
Yeah. We need to document that.
No, he's fine. .146 laps complete. They're just under green going into turn number 1. Gordon in the lead. Dale Jarrett second. It's Bobby Labonte in third. Lake Speed in fourth. And as you watch them, Michael Waltrip is in fifth. Earnhardt 6th. Martin 7th. Craven 8th. Rusty Wallace breaks into the top 10. He's in 9th. And Johnny Benson rounds out that top 10. Headed for turn 3.
75 Morgan Shepherd.
Bobby Hillens loose.
Oh, Michael Waltrip gets it.
3 cars on the inside getting caught. One is Ricky Rudd, the other is Bodine. Somebody got through that. Hillen's car torn up on this restart. They didn't get a lap in after they came back from the flag before we had trouble. Started up in 3, ended on the outside of 4 big time. Another look at what has just happened. Buddy Baker.
About 10 seconds right now for station identification. This is the Performance Racing Network. Well, we're into the second yellow and carrying around for 140.
Well, that thing's right.
You can see Bobby Hillin going in under Bobby Labonte, and You can see the back come out right there. He corrects. Now he corrects again. He's in big trouble here. The back end comes all the way around. Michael Waltrip had nowhere to go. It shears the right front fender off the 21 car. Everybody else just kind of weaves through here. You can see Bodine there on the bottom and Ricky Rudd right against the water barrier on the inside.
Another view.
Boy, it don't change. You could watch this for an hour. It's the same thing.
No, he just went up the racetrack, didn't he, buddy?
The guy that was really lucky was Derek Cope on the outside there.
And speed. And Dale Earnhardt, too, on the very bottom got through that.
Let's go to Michael Waltrip's pits.
Well, Michael has talked to the guys. Other than that right front fender that you see, 4 guys are working on at the moment. Michael believes his chassis is all right. Means the wheels are straight, no toe-in problem that he knows of as of right yet. Now, here's the deal. They're going to have to try. They want to try and get this fender back on there because aerodynamically, you take that fender off, Michael Waltrip will not win just for that little piece right there. So they're going to go ahead and chisel just a little bit off the right front. They may grab a piece of sheet metal if they can find it just to patch. That depends. Steve Burns?
Ernie Irvan just came in. The last time they pitted, they had intended to pull the rubber out of the right front. They came back in, raised the hood, and it wasn't there. So we're listening right now. They pulled one out of the left rear instead, is what they're saying.
Here's the 21 car coming out. You can see the fender. They're going to take a lap here and then do some more surgery on the Michael Waltrip Wood Brothers car after he got caught there. Boy, Bobby Hillins had bad luck. 5 DNQs thus far this year. A stop and go has been assessed number 21, but he wanted to come back in anyway. They wanted to do some work on the nose of that car, and Randy can add to that.
Man, they had just all kinds of problem. They tried to leave that right front fender on as he signals Bobby Hillin on the way by. They tried to leave the right front on. They wanted to pop rivet it back on, make it hold, but the thing is now tucked up behind the right rear. They're going to go ahead and cut it. And if they do that, he is done for the day. He'll run, but he won't run up front.
Bobby Hillin's car being rolled back into the garage area. Field ready on a restart. As they come down, it's Gordon, Jarrett, Labonte, 1, 2, 3. Speed stays 4th. Earnhardt to 5th. Craven to 6th. Martin, Wallace up to 8th. Benson to 9th. And Schrader cracks the top 10.
All the cars in the inside lane have been lapped. Fast cars to the outside in the restart.
Bad break for Michael Waltrip. Remember, he hit the spinning John Andretti on the backstretch. Still came back, though. Finished 10th in the lead lap.
Yeah, but look at where Bobby Labonte, with whom we are riding right now, is. All the way up to the 3rd spot, looking ahead at Jarrett and the leader, Jeff Gordon.
Whoa, we've got another one loose and up in the wall. Looks like Bobby Hamilton going all the way around. Bingo.
All of a sudden, we can't get through turn 4.
The most dangerous time on the racetrack is a restart. I don't care what they say. When you're double file like that, the chances of getting the air off the spoiler or somebody touching you, it's enormous.
Randy Pemberton.
Well, not only that, buddy, but as you well know, new tires, how touchy it can be, and that is one of the things. If they get just a tick sideways, they'll lose it in a hurry without building some heat up in these tires.
Here's the 43 in, and they've got some surgery to do. Another look at Bobby Hamilton in trouble up here on the 24-degree banking.
Well, you can just see it. Nobody made any contact. It looked like he got in and the car just come around on him. He was running very hard in the upper lane there. And that part of the racetrack hadn't really been used that much, so he may have just got up there in the gray part of the racetrack and lost it.
Ricky Rudd must feel sent for. Got caught in that last one. Darn near in this one.
There was contact there. Looks like Todd Bodine got him on the left rear corner there. Good old replays.
Well, it depends on whether you're Todd Bodine or not.
But I will address that part about the tires, too. You qualify on cold tires if you don't spin, so I don't think that's the real problem right at the moment.
New sponsorships are making a story these days. Here's an interesting story about one of them, and a very unusual one at that. Yeah, he says now that he's got Fred Flintstone up on the front of his car, his own son that's 5 stopped cheering for Jeff Gordon.
That's a great piece.
That's kind of funny. All right, we're 154 laps in here. I need to keep Baker under 2.
Thanks a lot.
231 miles have been completed in the 6th annual Coca-Cola 600. Light is off in the pace car, ready to go racing. Gordon first, Jarrett second, Labonte third, Earnhardt fourth, Craven to fifth, Lake Speed sixth, Mark Martin seventh, Wallace eighth, Benson ninth, Schrader 10th, and once again, that front 10 as they were before.
Whoa, we have contact on the front straightaway.
It was Kyle Petty all over the back of the number 16 Musgrave, and that sends the field flying down into turn number 1. I think we've torn up about 6 cars as they came to the line.
You can see Rusty Wallace there in the 2 car. He's torn up the 33 of Sachs.
There's Musgrave's car. Is that Lake Speed?
Lake Speed,
Oh, that's a tragedy.
Joe Nemechek
coming back to line. They're racing back to the line, and make no mistake about it. Kyle's getting his lap back. Gordon comes across the line, followed by Bobby Labonte in second, Earnhardt up to third, and Craven across in fourth. Heavy damage down in the corner. Most of the cars driving, well, not all of them, but several of them driving away. Look at the end of that 33 car. John Andretti's car badly blunted front and back.
Nemechek
Johnny Benson. Johnny Benson has got problems with his car too. He's smoking badly as he comes by.
Big tear up in turn number 1. It happened right on the start, right here at the line. Kyle Petty into the back of the 16 Musgrave, and that's where it got away.
Well, on the restarts here, you see Musgrave starting off there. Kyle takes a look to the inside. Right here, they make a little contact on the left rear corner. Musgrave's out of control, right in front of Bobby Labonte. And you can see Earnhardt just barely getting by there.
That's the second time Earnhardt has dodged a bullet here. Rusty hits hard. The second year in a row, Rusty has been damaged up in the first turn.
Not much doubt about that one. That was a hard hit. Yep. Took out some real good cars. Here's Musgrave's car coming in.
Going behind the wall with it. Here we go again. Musgrave, that's the car sliding right in front of Labonte. Couple.
A little drop kick, and away he goes.
Oh, look at Rusty's car.
Oh,
Get
Rusty
up
off
in
the
air.
ground.
Wow.
Yeah, he almost took it over.
That was ugly there.
Oh, he's still hitting things.
He'd lost everything. Brakes were gone, everything. When that thing got up in the air, he was 4 feet in the air on the wall. Lap 166 when that happened. 166. Two drivers going over to the infield care center here. So it's just an automatic checkout. They were just coming to speed. Gordon stays first, Jarrett second, Bobby Labonte. What had been a flawless start to the 600. Now, got yellow fever everywhere. Dale Earnhardt, Ricky Craven, Schrader up to 6th, Martin Labonte, Ernie Irvan 9th, and Michael Waltrip to 10th. Raising havoc with the front of this field. Let me make a correction. I think I said 166. 156 is when that incident took place. 10 cars involved in this incident on that start. Let's take a ride and a listen down into turn 1. Bobby Labonte just getting through. Another angle. Says racing isn't a full contact sport. Wow. Reverse angle.
You know, watching this, Kyle was on the very bottom of the racetrack. I'm not sure that Musgrave knew he was there. I'm not sure of that contact there. We really can't blame anybody. It was just a racing thing that Kyle Petty was on the bottom there, and Musgrave was taking care of the inside there, and they touched.
So you want to be a racer. Let's go to Patty Moise with Ted Musgrave.
Yes, we're here in the garage with Ted, out of the race early. Tell us what happened from your perspective, Ted.
Well, I guess by the replays you can see that. Hey, that's a good film clip. That'll be in the world's biggest bloopers there. You know, you just can't do that at Charlotte. You know, on a restart like that, going 3 wide through the trial line. You know, it's 600 miles. I don't know what Kyle's problem was, but, you know, like I say, it was a dumb move, and it shouldn't happen like that. But, hey, you know, it took a lot of good cars out of the race. I'm sorry about that, you know, but I was trying to get a lap back just like I, you know, should. And my car was starting to work pretty good for once. And, like I say, I'm not really sure. I just got hit in the left rear pretty good, and there was just no way to hang on to it at, you know, 170, 180 miles an hour sideways. And sorry for the rest of the guys.
Well, it's a tough break, and will y'all be able to get the car back in just to make some points?
That'd be it, just to make some points. That thing is really destroyed. But, you know, here, as competitive as it is, you just got to go back out and get as many points as you are. Like I said, there's a lot of cars in the garage here, and we want to see if we can get some more.
That's the story here. Back to you, Ken.
Ted Musgrave. We'll take a quick break and be back. We are now at lap 161 in the Coca-Cola 600 here at Charlotte, North Carolina. Here's your MasterCard race summary, mid-race report brought to you by MBNA. NASCAR MasterCard, the official card of NASCAR. 6 leaders thus far, 10 lead changes. We had 32 in the whole race last year, averaging 140 miles an hour. 1 caution for so long, then 4 all of a sudden. And there you see the lap leaders today. Dave Marcus, before he had a bad crash that put him out of the event. Show the world you're a NASCAR fan when you carry the MBNA NASCAR MasterCard. Call 1-800-34-NASCAR to request to only card with your favorite driver right on the card. Get yours by calling 1-800-34-NASCAR. Green is down, and we're back to it. This is at lap 166 as they take green.
Well, let's see if we can get a lap in here.
See Derek Cope there trying to get it back in the lead lap, but look at the 88 of Jarrett come on the inside.
It was Earnhardt. Top to bottom. No, sorry, 22 Burton.
And he got away
top
with
to
it.
bottom. He got away. You're absolutely right. All the way from the top of 2, all the way to the bottom, midway down that 1,300-foot backstretch.
Look at Jeff Gordon and Jarrett go down into turn 1 side by side, and right behind them Dale Earnhardt is to peel off into turn 1.
New to the game, that's a Ford Chevy battle. Chevy on the outside, Ford on the inside. They get at it with Earnhardt there in that mixture.
They're going to hold Kyle Petty 2 more laps, apparently. Conversation between Felix and the officials. The officials have decided 2 more laps is in order as a result of that conversation.
2 extra laps in the penalty box because Kyle or someone used some expletives, they say. Look at this move. Jarrett down on the inside. Squeezes through, and here comes Earnhardt. 3 of them in there together. All right, got this race going again, and we've got 3 guys under a blanket up in front with Craven back and forth. Labonte's in 5th, Schrader's in 6th, Terry Labonte is in 7th, Irvin in 8th, Marlin in 9th, Martin in 10th, and Michael Waltrip in 11th, ragged fender and all.
Here comes Earnhardt up under Jarrett as they head down towards the first turn. This is why we sell tickets to 150,000 people and millions watching all over the country. It isn't any better racing, I don't care where you go, than NASCAR.
Battle further back in the pack. In the right-hand box, battle for 4th, Labonte, Schrader, Labonte. Tough going out there. Meanwhile, up in front, Gordon, Earnhardt, Jarrett, Labonte. Jarrett has it his way for the moment.
I remind you that 12 car is a lap down. Actually, it's not a lap down. He just picked up his lap, but he is not in the fight for the lead. That's Derek Cope in the 12.
Running 13th position. 12 cars now in the lead lap.
Jeff Gordon there. They're talking about the Chevrolet. He's right on the white line, but he's got company. Look at Earnhardt moving in there in 2nd place. They're moving away from Dale Jarrett just a little bit.
Classic American stock car racing battle right here.
Take a look at this. Bobby Labonte, Terry Labonte, side by side. Brothers Labonte in a great scrap for 4th. And Terry takes it away. Hey, he's going to be around. He's going to be tough. This is one of the guys they said earlier was going to win this. Arnold Palmer picked Dale Earnhardt to win. He follows the racing.
Ever bet against Earnhardt in a big-time stock car race? Look at him wiggle, though.
If he does that a few more times, I'll bet against him, because I tell you what, he was in a lot of trouble there. That car broke loose on him. He turned back into it to correct it and shot up the racetrack. Only a man with his ability could have caught that car.
Yeah, Dale Jarrett's going to crowd him, too, see if he can get that thing to wiggle a little bit more. Meanwhile, look at Gordon on the bottom. Hope on the high side. They're going to try to put Gordon a lap down again.
Put Cope a lap down.
Cope, yeah.
Put Cope a lap down in that 13th position. And he's given it a real go to stay up there. Look at that struggle by Derek Cope, a two-time winner on the Winston Cup Circle. And here comes Gordon right back after him another time. Meanwhile,
they better look at that 88 car there. Dale Jarrett's on a move right now. He's on the outside of the racetrack. Look at this car right in the center part of the corner. It is very strong.
And Earnhardt nudges down on the inside, nuzzles his way up through. He's on his way to second.
And here comes Ward Burton in that 22 car as well. He is not right in there for the position. Ward Burton is all the way into 22nd spot, but he is very fast.
Couple laps down.
That loose condition on Earnhardt's car in turn 1 and 2 is really bothering. Look at Jarrett.
Whoa! He did it.
Oh, snookered him. Yeah. Right down the inside. There was no room to go, and Dale Jarrett stuck it in there. How about that? Write that one down. Lap 174. Jarrett on the inside and then some.
Is that more courage or more skill, Buddy Baker?
That was bravery right there, because I'm going to tell you, he drove her down in there, but I tell you, Dale Jarrett all year long has been strong, and this race car is good. He's doing what you have to do to win 600-mile races.
Hey, we got to look at this. Look at this, baby.
3 wide going down in the corner. You see, right there, Jeff Gordon shows a lot of maturity. He backs out, gets that car under control down to the bottom of the racetrack. That could have been an answer. He decided to be too bold.
261st mile was when that one took place.
Hey, Jeremy Mayfield has just dropped out with a broken timing chain. His birthday is tomorrow. Maybe you could send him a timing chain for his birthday.
Yeah, sure.
Well, he said his wife didn't buy him anything, so at least he doesn't think she did.
Taking a look here at Ernie Irvan following Schrader from Schrader's car in 7th place looking back. Ricky Craven up on the outside as Schrader tries to move beneath him. Schrader shooting for 6.
Not too bad for a car that last night his crew chief said wouldn't run.
Wouldn't run?
Yeah. Schrader has been one of those hot and cold guys here during all this stuff in anticipation of the 600. He sometimes is extremely fast and sometimes not so. And in the last practice session yesterday, Ricky Craven wobbles a little bit coming off the corner. He just wasn't quick, and they really didn't know what to do last night. Well, I guess they made the right decisions because Schrader's hot right now. He's running very well.
I think we're all excited to see Craven start. I'm amazed that at better than halfway, he's still in here and mixing it up. Because he can talk about how strong he is and how good he feels, but he's in a lot of hurt from that crash at Talladega. Meanwhile, take a look here. Texas Terry in that 4th spot. He's moved around Earnhardt. Earnhardt just gives it a little nudge down.
Intimidator and the Iceman. I'm guaranteed that they got a lot of nicknames, but they're great racers.
You have one opinion or the other about Earnhardt, but I think Larry Woody in the Tennessean once said it best. He said, Dale Earnhardt doesn't drive for the dough. He races for the sheer enjoyment of it. He chases checkered flags for the same reason that a beagle chases rabbits. It's his nature.
Yeah, remember a week ago when we saw Earnhardt on the bottom and Terry Labonte upstairs in the Winston Select, and they wound up coming together. That's how Michael Waltrip got by both of them for the win, but so far so good. They're really being smooth right now.
And look at Terry Labonte around Earnhardt and into 3rd. It's Dale Jarrett in 1st, Gordon in 2nd, and Terry Labonte now into 3rd. Earnhardt falling to 4th, Bobby Labonte in 5th, Schrader is 6th, Irvin 7th, Craven 8th, Marlin and Martin round out the top 10.
I talked to Terry Labonte about that incident, and he said he watched the replays 2 or 3 times, and he said Earnhardt didn't do a thing I wouldn't have done. It was just good, hard racing.
Impressed with Derek Cope able to stay up there running as well as he is. Way high on the racetrack.
Bobby Allison moving from Hueytown over here into the Charlotte area. got himself a new sponsor. Everyone wishes them all well with the Babcock Home Furnishings Ford these days. Look at Schrader beginning to show some muscle on the inside again, bringing that Hendrick Budweiser number 25 back up into this one another notch.
Some smoke from the left rear corner of the number 18 car. This is the battle for 5th position. Inside with Schrader now.
Let's see, he's turning 8,400 as he went down the back straightaway there. I'm guessing, guys, but I can tell it was way over
You're
there.
just an old gossip. You just keep looking over people's shoulders.
Well, this Schrader car, you want to look over his shoulder. Remember last year, he was leading at the 500-mile mark, and the motor blew up shortly after that? Sounds pretty good right now, though, doesn't it, buddy?
It does that, and he's making a move on last year's winner, Bobby Labonte, trying to get by him on the inside. Just these cars are not as smooth as they look like from a distance. You can see they really move around when the racetrack is. You can see from that in-car camera.
Yep. But this is where they run their best. As Neil Bonnet used to say, hey, when you're coming up to speed, they're all junk. But when you get up there where they're supposed to be, they're wonderful to drive.
They are that.
Catch that glimpse of Ernie Irvan down in the left-hand corner. Ernie Irvan now running in 6th position. Changed the motor in that car this morning. Last time they did that was, what, 1991? Davey Allison was the driver, changed the motor right before this race and went off and won it.
How about Ernie Irvan? Getting right back into this fight.
There's another guy a lot of people would cheer for if he could possibly win it.
Still got 11 cars, and remember, we went almost halfway without any sign of a caution flag out here. You'd have thought that we'd only had 3 or 4. They've kept 11 cars up in that lead lap. Of the 42 starters, we've lost, what, 5? 6. They're back behind the wall. Some of them are coming back out. They're going to run for points. They may be bruised and battered, but they're going to get them back out here.
This guy right there, Ernie Irvan, I'll tell you what. You want to talk about bravery? He would go bear hunting with a switch. I guarantee you, this guy is stout.
I'll tell you what impresses me about Ernie Irvan as you watch Schrader. We'll get back to Ernie Irvan in a moment. Look at him. He's so smooth with that wheel. That's that sprint car experience. He never unwinds that wheel too much. Schrader was on top of it.
Led 169 laps in this race last year. Boy, he needs a win. He'd love to stop having to answer reporters' questions about when you're going to win, why can't you win, what's happening here.
I'm amazed he keeps his cool as well as he does about that.
Well, I think he's got his confidence, Ken. You know, he knows he's a fine race car driver with an outstanding race team. And look at this. Look at this.
Whoa, baby. 3 wide down
and
the back
Spencer
straightaway.
in the middle.
Yeah, and he's going to do it. Look at this.
Schrader on the inside. Terry Labonte on. This is for 4th, folks. That 23 car's a lap down. He's running in 22nd position, a lap down. But don't look to Jimmy Spencer to give you an inch. No matter how many positions or laps he's down, he'll run it just as hard as he can.
Even going out of the parking lot, he won't give you an inch, that guy.
Here comes Ernie Irvan.
And Ernie Irvan on the inside of Schrader. Randy?
Well, Kenny Schrader said, hey, guys, car's good, windshield's bad. We need to really clean this thing good, and we're going to pit in about 25 laps.
Okay. Ernie Irvan got squirrely, had to step off for a sec.
Saw Schrader correct in the midst of all of that. Oh, 3 wide again.
Martin getting by, and Schrader taking a big backup to 11th spot. Want to see a save? How about this? Take a look at the lead. There's Jarrett and Gordon 1st and 2nd. Now you talk about a save, folks. This is a save. Watch the 28. Black and gold, orange and blue.
Schrader on the top. Ernie Irvan on the bottom. Whoa!
Oh, baby.
Yeah, Ricky Craven dodges yet another bullet on the outside.
Yeah. Folks, that is talent. That wasn't luck. He drove that race car back straight. Now, that is pure talent.
Won the Babe Zaharias Award last year in memory of that great Olympian. And it's given to individuals who demonstrate courageous action in overcoming adversity to excel in sport. Nobody more deserving than this man, Ernie Irvan. Rocky Blyer won it, Roy Campanella, great Shirley Muldowney, John Olerud, and Ernie Irvin. And look at him go.
He's going to win a Winston Cup race before long, maybe even today. Look at Michael Waltrip has caught up a little bit. They've got some fender work done on that car. It's a little bit better than it was before. Still not perfect. Ernie Irvin's car basically unmarked so far, running really well.
Steve Burns can give us more on car 28, Ernie Irvin.
Up until a moment ago when Ernie about lost it, he was really starting to come through traffic. On the last pit stop, they took a rubber out of the left rear and put on scuffed tires. Now, Buddy Baker could probably talk about what scuffed tires are going to do here tonight.
Well, I can tell you what taking the rubber out of the left rear would do. This is a spacer that actually makes the spring stronger, and when you pull the rubber out, it softens it up. It takes some of the pressure off the drive wheel on the left rear, and that keeps it from pushing as much. It makes it a little bit looser.
There you see Ernie Irvin, and there you see the leaders. Dale Jarrett and Jeff Gordon at it. We got a wreck in turn 2. Oh, and a terrible wreck. One car is absolutely disintegrated as Johnny Benson clobbered a car coming down off, and Ricky Craven has been caught up in it. But another car was absolutely destroyed. It may have been that number 41.
Oh, it's Craven. Oh, Ricky Craven.
Terrible impact. He was full in the throttle. And I believe they're asking for the rescue squad for Johnny Benson, who took him right through the door. Johnny Benson, Grand National Champion, moved up, took over the Pennzoil car this year. This is in turn 2. We were at lap 194. And there you see the mark down across the track. And on the bottom, Craven, driving hurt from that terrible crash at Talladega, collected. I can show you some of it. There you see the 30 up on the outside in the wall. In just a moment, it's going to start to descend across the track. It's down off the 24-degree banking at about maybe 14, 15 degrees, and here it comes. And Craven didn't take it full. He took it on the side of the car and then slid up the track.
Ken, as bad as that was, it could have been much worse.
Much worse.
That tank done its job. It did not catch on fire, thank goodness.
Much worse. Rescue squad for Johnny Benson out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. Leader Jarrett on pit road. Here's Steve Burns.
Dale Jarrett just took 4 tires, as did Dale Earnhardt. No chassis adjustments. The 28 car of Ernie Irvin is also up. They're going to the left side of that car. Ernie is off and away. Everybody taking 4 tires did not see any chassis adjustments.
We'll take a break and be back with you in just a moment at the 37th Annual Coca-Cola 600 from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Promotional fees and consideration have been paid by Amoco, Exide, and by Food Lion.
There is the 21, Wood Brothers car, and what a return he's making. He's into 10th position, and they keep working on that car. They've massaged it in every one of these caution periods, trying to get it back up after it got clipped earlier, and here it comes another time.
They have literally made a front end for this car. That's new sheet metal there where they have formed a fender, trying to get some sort of aerodynamics so they can continue to run the speeds that they need to run.
And I wonder how that will fit in the buddy. Or fit the NASCAR template, either one. But I'll bet this is 10 times that they've been in, and every time they get in, this whole crew of people just goes to work on the right front, and aerodynamics are the consideration here. This is a very fast racetrack, and they want to get it just right, or at least as right as they possibly can.
You see Eddie Wood on the far right, and I think that he is masterminding that fabrication work that's being done. Now, I'm being told right now, we're getting word that Ricky Craven is speaking and that he is okay. I don't know if he is in the field hospital. This is a very unofficial report. Steve Burns can give us more, I believe, right now on Ricky Craven. Steve.
Ken, we just came down into the pit, and some of the mechanics have just come back here to round up the pit box and equipment, and they said they have talked to Ricky. They think his legs are bruised up, but the initial report is they say he's okay, so that's the good news. Let's go to Randy Pemberton.
Well, that's correct. Ricky Craven is in the infield care center. He walked in from the ambulance. So they believe Craven is going to be all right. As far as Johnny Benson, they have him sitting up in there. He's talking alert. The worst injury, from what the guys say coming out of the hospital that have seen him, is Johnny bent his glasses up pretty good, but I'll guarantee he's going to be sore. Just tremendous, just the tribute that these guys get for building these cars as solid as they are to take hits like that, and these guys are up talking in the infield care center.
Well, that's the best news of the night. We're ready to go racing again. There goes the good side of car number 30 back into the garage area. Craven and Benson out, but they will race again. In this year's Daytona 500, Michael Waltrip with John Andretti's spinning car. The Wood brothers, they came back, finished 10th in the lead lap. Tonight, Michael is 10th. He is on the lead lap. Looks like he's ready to do business. Good news about Ricky Craven and Johnny Benson, two outstanding young men. Great new competitors in this very tough game.
Real good. Watch Ward Burton, that 22 that has been so very fast. If he can get by Gordon on this restart, he's got a potential to reclaim his lap.
20th position as he comes to the line. That's the 22 car. Gordon, Earnhardt, Jarrett, 1, 2, 3. Terry Labonte, 4th. Schrader, Martin, Bobby Labonte, 7th. Sterling Marlin and Ernie Irvin, 9th, and Michael Waltrip in 10th. 10 cars lead lap.
Burton's down 2. He's got to get 2 laps back. This could be one of them right here. Look who else is back there trying to reclaim a lap. Derek Koch. He's not going to do it this time. They're not going to do it this time. Oh, boy.
Boy, that's as close as you can come right there. Ward Burton almost got into him there.
Do I see 3 wide again?
Yep. That 190 mark, 190 miles per hour, they say in turn 1, and they're still in there 3 wide.
That big crash didn't frighten those guys, did it?
No. They don't get paid to be scared.
I was scared.
We were all scared, except Baker.
I was scared too, guys. I'll tell you right now. You see, right in front of this group right here, there's Jarrett on the bottom. He was held up in this mix-up there, and Terry Labonte got by him to take 3rd spot.
And look who's in the 2nd, the 3-time winner of the 600, ready to go hunting.
Whoa, he's still loose getting in the corner.
He's still
see the
loose
back
in
of
2.
that car? That's 1 and 2. That car is really working back and forth. It's very loose getting in the corner.
Imagine what it'd be like to do that.
Didn't seem to slow him down any getting in the turn 3. He's really driving that car extra hard right now. 1 and 2 seems to be the problem for Earnhardt. 3 and 4, he runs quite well.
Here are a couple of racers who are so centered in their thinking, in their personal balance with these cars. They're like great skiers. They're like great any kind of athletes. They are simply centered. They can take a car to the very edge where you're right ready to fall off over the side and bring it back. 2 brilliant talents at work. Gordon versus Earnhardt for the lead. This is a goodie. 2:06 is the lap we've just completed.
Boy, you look at that and you see all the experience in the world and all the determination in the world. Gordon being the determination and Earnhardt with all the experience.
And let's not forget Terry Labonte. Cool, calm, consistent Terry back there in 3rd. Closing up again and bringing Dale Jarrett right with him in the 88. 4 cars battling for the lead here.
Jarrett, who surely has proven himself. A couple of years ago when he first got the ride with Robert Yates, people said, well, I don't know about Dale Jarrett, but he's proven he was deserving of that ride and then some.
309 miles down.
Earnhardt determined, looking for the lead, coming in on Gordon.
Well, those
two cars.
And look at Jarrett there, buddy, coming down to the bottom. Great move up there in 4.
He may be the fastest car on the track because Jarrett was caught up a while ago. Now look at him go right on the white line there. You see Earnhardt's car moving way up the racetrack. He's having to catch that car when it breaks loose.
Dale Jarrett may be developing a problem, however. Steve Burns can tell us more.
So often we talk about mechanical problems. Dale Jarrett radioed his crew members and said, go to the truck and get a green Gatorade. He is becoming dehydrated. It's not that hot down here, but it is very, very humid. So we'll keep the tabs on that story and get back to you.
That's kind of like waiting to go on stage. A lot of times your mouth will dry out, and that's what happens when you're running really well and get really excited like that in your water jug. You can't get a drink of water or anything. Your mouth dries out, and you really become quite stagnant as far as the way you feel about things. So he's probably wanting a good drink, but that's not going to bother him when he gets up there and starts rustling for the lead.
Uh-oh, we've got one out of control. Todd Bodine is around and in the wall. Todd Bodine spinning at 4, gets it down to the bottom. That's the 6th caution.
Wally Dallenbach, and he made contact there once before. Yeah.
The 94 car, 6th caution of the night, is out for Todd Bodine, running in 18th position. You saw what happened, racing back to the line with Gordon first, Earnhardt in second, Jarrett, Terry Labonte, Ken Schrader, Mark Martin, Sterling Marlin, Bobby Labonte, Irvin, and Michael Waltrip, the top 10. Another look at this one.
Well, the 94 there is Todd Bodine. Now, you watch right here. Dallenbach just gets him on the left rear barely and turns him sideways. He starts down the track and now back up into the outside wall.
Second angle.
Here it comes.
Boom. Long time to think about it there, buddy.
He hit hard on that left side, too. You can see it hit in the wall, jump up there another time. You can see the left rear took most of the impact, though.
Sliding, glancing blow, however, for Todd Bodine. Lucky. Lap 211, caution out 6th time. Gordon and Earnhardt. Jarrett and Labonte fighting for the lead.
Oh, everybody in the pits now.
Everybody's coming in. Can you do a split screen? 24-3-8.
How can we?
Oh, buddy, I'm only doing what I'm... Yeah, I know. Hey.
Uh-huh. Oh,
Welcome back to Charlotte Motor Speedway. Well, Dale Jarrett and Dale Earnhardt have just made pit stops. Everybody taking 4 tires. No chassis adjustments. Ernie Irvin also away. 4 tire changes.
So, field reorganizing. So you want to be a racer? Come along. Take a ride. Todd Bodine.
Ken, I'll give you some of my salary. Make sure I never get back in one of these things again. Wow. Oh, my.
Steve Burns can update the story down here on pit road from his pit stop. Steve?
Well, Ken, we are right in front of Dale Earnhardt and Dale Jarrett. They both took 4 tires, as did Ernie Irvin. However, Jeff Gordon and Ken Schrader only took 2. Also, Sterling Marlin taking just 2 tires.
What do you think that? Remember yesterday that 4-tire, 2-tire strategy in the Grand National Race?
Yeah.
See, there's the 22 back in again.
Remember 94 when Gordon took only 2 and Rusty took 4 and Gordon 1?
Randy Pemberton give us more on that Rusty Wallace crash from earlier. Let's get to Randy.
Well, Rusty, we said, wasn't happy. These guys aren't happy either. They got about 12 guys working on the Miller car back here. Robin, you guys continue to thrash. Can you get this thing out? I know the frame's bent.
It's pretty much wiped out, but we know if we can get another 5 or 6 laps, we might can pick up another couple positions. It's a damn shame. We went from 43rd to 9th, and the car was running good. We were working on it as things were going along, and get people up there driving like idiots. This is what happens.
Rob, what else they got to do this car to get it back out?
We're replacing radiator and oil cooler and stuff like that right now, just the vitals.
Tough break for these guys, too.
Mm-hmm. There you see the Family Channel crew still trying to get Musgrave back in this show. And there you see the Charlotte Motor Speedway under the lights on this Memorial Day weekend for the 37th Annual 600. It's been a wild one thus far. Marlin is now going to be the leader. He got out of the pits in a hurry, and he will be leading at lap 2:15. With Gordon second, Schrader now into third. Wouldn't that be something if Ken Schrader turns it around and pulls this one out of the fire?
Well, he's won at Charlotte before, and he is long overdue to win a race. Complete shuffle of that crew over the wintertime, all new people. Bill Hammer came on as the crew chief. Schrader has basically given up running short tracks, focused entirely on trying to get going in Winston Cup and win more races.
And Ray Abraham sort of is the manager overall on the deal.
Yep, it's a real team effort. The whole team is working trying to help Schrader get back where he belongs, and that's up front.
Back in '91, he was right in the midst of things here, had that great second place finish in this event to Davey Allison. And here he is knocking on the door again. Maybe he will win his 5th career Winston Cup race tonight. It'd be something special if we could see Schrader pull that off.
Think there'd be some Budweiser drunk?
Oh, no, nothing like that. Baker would be the first one down here. We'd have to work the last one all by ourselves.
Moving right along here.
Looking for his first win at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, Ken Schrader. Now, a lot of them made 2 tire changes that time.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see whether the guys who took just 2 are fast or whether they are eaten up when this green flag drops. Didn't make a whole lot of difference yesterday in the Busch Grand National. It is the same tire here. These cars weigh just 100 pounds more. Here's an experiment in progress.
Sterling Marlin with the advantage. First time he's had a chance up in front tonight after a very good pit stop. Tony Glover and company for the Morgan McClure folks. The field is away, and as they begin to break loose on this start, let's see, on the shuffle, here's Earnhardt settling down on the out. Oh, Jarrett getting just a little loose there.
Boy, you can just feel the electricity when they start off that corner so close to each other, and the car's jumping around just a little bit, just a little touch, and boy, it starts a lot of trouble.
These fans are going to have to take an extra day off when this one's over to get rested up.
Patty Louise is with Todd Bedine. What you got to say, Patty?
Todd, out of the race early, you were running the top 20. Give us your perspective on what happened.
Well, it's a shame because we actually had a pretty good car. We were running pretty decent. Wally pinched me up into the wall earlier off of 4 and messed the car up a little bit, but we got it straightened out. We were running pretty good again, and he got under me, and my spotter told me he was there, so I stayed up, and he just must have pushed up into me or whatever and turned us around. It's a shame because McDonald's and all the people, everything was going good for tonight.
How many more races do you perceive that you'll be having in this car?
It's hard to say. It just depends on how long it takes Bill to heal up, and we hope he heals as fast as possible and gets here quick as we can, because we want him back.
Understand that. Back up to Ken. That's the story here.
Thanks, Patty Louise. Patty Louise on the mend after that bad crash she had at Rockingham, doing a great job for us tonight. Had a wild ride yesterday out here in the 300.
Mark Martin in 10th spot. There's another car that has had an awful lot of work done to it. He was involved in that earlier wreck, and they've worked a lot on the aerodynamics of that one as well, virtually replacing the right rear corner of that car. Randy, what have you found out down there about the 6?
Well, the bottom line was Marky's got an oil leak, a little bit of an oil leak, so I came to the pits right after that pit stop. They were wiping it up off of pit road, very slight. I asked the guys how it was, and they gave me they're not quite sure, so they're going to go out there and ride around. The car's still running good, but not a good sign when you have an oil leak.
You hear the motor sound. 33 with Greg Sachs back out on the track again. They've done some more work on that. 24 and 4 in the lead. Here they come. It's the 4 car in front, Sterling Marlin. Takes that car that won at Talladega and puts it just in front of Jeff Gordon. Schrader is back there in third. Been a while since he's tasted victory. What, 1991?
Oh, look at, here comes Gordon on the bottom.
You could see Marlin's car take off just a little bit in the corner there, going up a little bit out of the groove. Gordon made a move to the inside. Now he takes the position.
And here comes Schrader with Earnhardt. 4 of them in there together, bumping and bumping.
Yeah, and I saw some sparks there, too, with the 4 of them in there together.
You're going to see more.
Look at this, 5 cars all fighting for the lead. See, more sparks. Somebody's bumping down on the racetrack. Somebody's running low in that group of 5.
Gordon back into first. Marlin to second. Jarrett sneaks along against the wall. And here comes Terry Labonte back into it.
Looks like Sterling might be just a little bit off right now. I think he might have took on 2 tires. I'm not sure, but he is dropping back just a little bit.
And what is Dale Earnhardt's crew doing while all this is going on out on the track, Steve?
Oh, Ken, look, they're all eating up with stress. Look, Chocolate Myers, all the guys just had Domino's pizza delivered. You know, it is getting kind of late, but they wouldn't get us any. Yeah, they're just all torn up down here.
Yeah, I can tell.
You know, that reminds you of Harry Hyde, doesn't it? Yeah. At least ostensibly, Tim Richmond was said to one time come into the pits for a pit stop, and Hyde and his bunch were sitting there eating an ice cream, said, you go around for a few more laps till we get done.
Look at Jarrett. He's not done. Dale Jarrett making the move on Earnhardt for second spot and looking for Gordon.
Again, I don't think just a few times in Earnhardt's life have I ever seen anybody pass him on the outside in the corner. That Jarrett is hooked up.
I tell you, this racing is so much fun. Look at Schrader down on the inside. He's got Marlin pinned. Can he hold him? Good run. It looks like he's on his way into a spot. Yep, Schrader's going to pick one up.
I wonder how Rick Hendrick is doing right now. One of his cars is in the lead. Another of his cars is in 4th. Another of his cars is in 6th. He's got 3 cars in the race. All of them in the top 6 right now.
Jeff Gordon is driving one of the races of his career. It's fun to see him win the 600, but this one was something. Here comes Dale Jarrett after him, and Dale Jarrett fades to the high side to make the move.
That's incredible right there. That's one of the fastest guys here in the corners, and Jarrett is going by on the outside.
Lap 227, mark it on your program. Here comes Dale Jarrett into the lead, and here comes Earnhardt.
4 tires versus 2 tires. Here we go.
Back comes Gordon on the bottom. You talk about a race.
Well, Steve Christmas fan could say, yada, yada, do. This is why, folks, they all sat in this grandstand in that pouring rain this afternoon. Half this crowd just sat here, wouldn't even go to their cars in the parking lot to get out of it. They were waiting to see this.
The most competitive racing in the world, and they just turned it up a notch. Here comes Dale Jarrett out in front, Gordon and Earnhardt. Rick Hendricks on Jeff Gordon at Atlanta back in '91, and Rick said he went in the corner. Car was so loose, it was just taking the tires apart. He ran lap after lap like that. I stood there waiting for the wreck. It never happened. And 2 days later, I gave that kid a contract.
Yeah, you know what's funny? We did a cover story on Gordon in Stock Car Magazine, and Rick Hendrick read it. He came to me after that, and he said, I didn't know all that stuff about him winning all those sprint car races and midget races. It really was the Atlanta deal that sealed it, not that whole prior career.
Look at Mark Martin coming on. 8th and 9th position here. Mark is in 9th. Terry Labonte, Bobby Labonte is there with him. And just in front of them, see Michael Waltrip in that 8th position.
Boy, what a story that is. Huh? After being involved in that early accident, they've worked on that car, worked on it on pit road. Same car that won the Select last weekend here. Waltrip doing a beautiful job with it.
And as you can see down the straightaway, he's holding his own with Mark Martin. Mark is a little bit stronger right in this area of the racetrack, but as they hit the straightaway, the 21 car of Michael Waltrip is fast.
For 4th position, battles everywhere. Here's Labonte going up against Schrader. Labonte, Terry Labonte, the Iceman, holds on to that 4th position. and Schrader trying to melt him down.
That was a great shot of Schrader's hand, very still in the corner. As you see there at the top part of the left-hand corner, he's barely moving his arm as he goes through the corner. That car is working.
Lake Speed just coming back on the track with such a great run earlier. And now look at this. Here's Mark Martin on the inside, and look at Michael Waltrip. The Wood brothers put that car in the emergency room, and Martin getting through on the bottom.
Oh, look at the right front.
Wow.
The body work is not working so well anymore. It looks like it's coming apart a little bit.
Crumpled up, hasn't it?
Yeah.
That is coyote ugly, folks. That thing. But look at this. Both of them have been mended up a little bit.
They're both wounded knuckles. Well, whatever. They're wounded.
24-3, getting ready to get into it. Here comes Gordon and Earnhardt.
And you know, Earnhardt hasn't led a lap yet. Pays 5 bonus points to lead a lap. He wants to do that. He wants those 5 points, so he can't stand to have anybody ahead.
It reminds me when Baker took me out for a night. He wanted to take me, really show me Myrtle Beach. You know what we saw? He took me to the tough man fights, right? That was his idea of a great cultural night out. Every time you turn around, we got another fight out here between a couple of tough men, and you got it right now. Here comes Gordon and Earnhardt right after him. These guys will put it to each other.
Hey, you know what, Buddy Baker? I've been meaning to ask you. Earnhardt had 38 career starts here at Charlotte before tonight, won 5 of them, earned up $1.3 million. You had 38 starts, won 4. You only won $419,000. Where'd the money go, buddy?
I'll tell you what.
Probably just finished the booth for the night.
Let me explain this. We both won 4 times here, but look at this grandstand right now, and the millions of people out there that are watching on TV. The money's better. These guys deserve what they're getting. I don't feel bad a bit that I didn't make any more than I did, because you got to remember, I can buy an acre of land for $1,400.
And now that same acre down here?
Oh boy, about 25, 30,000.
Look at this battle for 7th spot. There's Ernie Irvan, and he's in there strong. Right under Sterling Marlin, takes that 6th position. Jimmy Spencer still giving it a good go tonight. He's back in 20th position, being shown on lap 233 as the leaders are on 235. And they're all beginning. These cars, they ran at Martinsville. They ran on a half mile. They've really chewed these things up tonight. Mile and a half track, all these fast speeds, and they're still banging and slamming on each other.
And you know, they're running as fast in this mile and a half as they ran at Daytona and Talladega not so very long ago as well. They are running so close together, they really are running as if they're on a half mile at high speed.
You know, a lot of people watching this race don't realize right at this point on the racetrack, they're running close to 200 miles an hour as they turn into the corners here. They are really fast. We've had telemetry before. You'll see 195 to 197 as they enter the corner.
355.5 miles are complete, and it's a great race. You still have 10 cars in the lead lap and 4 battling for the lead. Stay tuned. Finish not too far away. Back once again, Charlotte Motor Speedway under the lights. Winston Cup racing at its best. It's the 37th annual Coca-Cola 600 with a 3-time 600 winner, Buddy Baker, Dick Bergen of Stock Car Magazine. I'm Ken Squire. Thrilled to bring you this great event on TBS. Hey, don't forget Pocono, Pennsylvania coming up real soon right here on TBS. Well, we're showing 241 laps. We should be getting down to caution time. Right now, number 88, Dale Jarrett's trying to check out. Meanwhile, trying to check up Jeff Gordon is Dale Earnhardt. Take a look at that. That's for 2nd spot. The 3 and the 24. Sandwiched in between them is car number 99. And that machine is being shown a little further back. Hey, before we give you that story, Patty Moise is over at the care center in the infield. Let's get an update from Patty.
Yes, both drivers are okay. Ricky Craven has been transported to the hospital, mainly for observation because of his injuries from the earlier wreck. The doctor also said that Johnny Vincent is still in there. He's up, he's alert, he's talking. They're monitoring his carbon monoxide level. That's pretty much the story here. The good news is they're both okay.
Thanks, Patty. Patty's been in the crash house a few times and in Rockingham recently. Good to see her getting back out and get going again.
You know, for the first time down in the pit area, she is doing a great job.
Jacksonville, Florida, Lake Mary to Elton Sawyer out here racing tonight, and she is indeed. Well, here we are with a, 4-second advantage now on Jarrett.
Somebody needs to tell Dale Jarrett if he expects a lot of TV coverage, he's got to slow down just a little bit. He's just motoring off into the sunset right at the moment. That car is working so well, he's right on the bottom of the racetrack. He's actually moving away from the group.
Let's not forget we've got some more pit stops coming up, and the rest of these guys who are chasing him will have an opportunity to adjust their cars, the air pressure, the track bar, and all the rest of it, try to get some more speed out of their race car.
Now hold the phone. Here we go for 4th place again. Terry Labonte and Schrader are at.
They are actually running down Jeff Gordon just in front of them there. Notice the tail there. The 3 Hendricks cars are going to have to battle each other in just a second.
Every time you just think you got enough time to get a glass of water or something, here they go again. This is for 4th. Here comes Schrader after Terry Labonte. Just eases down to the inside. It doesn't ease up. Right back in the throttle hard. How hot is it? As we get cooler tonight, but how hot in that car right now?
I would say right now they're very comfortable because what's rain today, I would say probably 95 to 100 degrees inside. And on a sunny day, it gets up to 135 degrees inside a race car.
95. It's swell, 95 or 100 degrees. It's just great.
But it's a dry heat, guys.
Yeah, thanks. But you know, the thing that's amazing is so many guys after these long races pop out of these cars as if they had been in just perfectly comfortable conditions. Nice race going on here with Michael Waltrip again in that 21 car, Ernie Irvin in the 28, and looking for his spot.
8th position at stake here. That front fender, boy, doesn't that one look like it took a punch in the nose? Ooh, who got the stab there? Derek Cope. Bobby Labonte giving him a move-over nod.
Bobby Labonte's bottoming out pretty bad getting into turn 1. I don't know why. They probably adjusted the bite in the car some, but every time he goes into turn 1, the black smoke just rolls out of the car.
Bobby Labonte, number 18, in 10th position. Just in front of him, Ernie Irvin in 9th. Michael Waltrip is in 8th. And it may be torn up a little, but that Wood Brothers car is still in this thing to stay.
What do you think about it? Is that the tires and the body coming together making that smoke?
Either that or somebody's touched him on the left rear, but it was smoking just a bit.
Meanwhile, for 4th position, there's Terry Labonte and Schrader hammering away.
Don't say hammer. Rick Hendrick may be listening.
They don't hammer anymore. A couple of them took each other out a couple of years ago at Martinsville. They had a group meeting the next day. He said, listen, we beat everybody else. We don't beat each other.
And it's Schrader down to the inside cleanly going by Terry Labonte.
And look who else is back in the picture again, too. Ward Burton in that Pontiac.
Yeah.
Still fighting to regain the lap she lost early on.
Still 2 down in 19th position. Terry Labonte there, the Iceman, says it's a cool head that usually has a degree of success running a 600.
You have to be a little bit patient, but you can't be very patient because you can get a lap down pretty easy. You just got to use your head a little bit, and you know, you got to stay out of trouble. If you get in trouble, you're not going to be there at the end.
Ward Burton running well, been through 4 engines in anticipation of this event.
You know, this Terry Labonte these days, he and Gordon each have 7 top 10 finishes in the last 8 races. He's just come on like he's 30 points behind Earnhardt and Jarrett right now. What a terrific turnaround for him in the last couple of years. Now look at this. Here comes the 18. That is Bobby Labonte and Ernie Irvin. And from Bobby Labonte's in-car, look over there to the left.
Smoke or no smoke, he's going by.
Food Lion Interstate Batteries car right there on the bottom. And Ernie Irvin right with him. I think they need a bowl of cereal. Maybe that pepperoni pizza that was down there with chocolate Myers that those guys were using.
There's something wrong with Ernie Irvin. He is dropping back. He's not running the pace that he was, just a little bit back there.
Got some folks on their way down there to see what the story is on Ernie Irvin. And Steve Burns can tell us perhaps right now the story on Ernie Irvin.
Ken, we're heading right up to Larry McReynolds right now to see if there is a problem. Larry, are you guys having a problem right now?
Yeah. I'll be so glad to get out of Charlotte. We have changed this place
real loose right now. We predicted it was going to get tighter as the nighttime come along.
Well, we've been talking all night long about tires, but there are a lot of teams here who will tell you that this is the most fickle, finicky racetrack of any of them on the circuit. That the racetrack itself changes literally from moment to moment, and you don't have to do anything to the race car. The race car will run well on a few laps, and then it'll run just lousy, and then it'll come back again, and these guys obviously are having a problem chasing it.
You saw car 2 out there, Rusty Wallace, a moment ago. He's back on the track, way back. He has completed just 165 laps. We're at lap 255, but he's out there trying to pick up some points. Dale Jarrett's picking up some time by almost 5 seconds. He's got him covered here. That's the biggest lead anybody's enjoyed in the 37th Coca-Cola 600.
Hello, hello, hello.
Promotional fees and consideration has been paid by the following. ESAB Welding. ESAB is the official supplier of welding and cutting products for Petty Enterprises. Lowe's. And by Haynes. Race fans call 1-800-HAYNES-2U for blank Haynes Beefy Tea. Only $4.99. 1-800-HAYNES-2U. Call now.
Back live at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Rick Benjamin here in the STP Pit Communications Center. If you'd like to know even more about tonight's Coca-Cola 600, you can go online. Phil Parsons is our TBS online host tonight. And there's the address, http://CNN.com. Chat. Closing in on 260 laps down. Dale Jarrett with a big lead. You know, Ken Squire, the last 4 of these events have been won by Chevrolets. Maybe this is going to be Ford's night.
I tell you what, it could be Dale Jarrett's night. I mean, that Winston Million, remember the one that Elliott pulled off? Yeah. Hey, he's right on the edge.
Yeah, he sure is, because he won Daytona. This is one of the races. All you got to do is win 3. If he wins this thing tonight and wins Darlington, there's $1 million bonus. Of course, he'll get a couple of bucks for winning tonight, too, out of this $1.7 million purse.
18 just passed the 21 out there. That's Bobby Labonte moving around Michael Waltrip. That would put Bobby Labonte up to 8 and drop Michael Waltrip in the 9th. Now take a look up here. Here comes that number 5, Terry Labonte, making a move on Jeff Gordon. This is for 4th spot. Goodbye.
I would speculate right now that the 24 car of Jeff Gordon is going away just a little bit in the handling. You heard him say a while ago, Larry Reynolds, just a little too much wedge, just a little too much air pressure. You're out of the ballpark until you get to work on it again.
See Wallace in the 2. looking like a Saturday night modified car. Well, he's picked up 3 or 4 spots out here as he tries to gain points. He's up to 37th. Remember, he said he was 39th a little while ago. Got a lot of work.
A lot of things he missed. Well, let's remember, too, Gordon only took 2 tires on that last stop. The guys who were ahead of him took 4. All the guys who were ahead of him took 4.
Well, that's it, then. That's the whole problem. You cannot take that gamble anymore. You need to have 4 fresh tires on here, the way you're running in the corner anymore.
Hey, we're getting on the scanner that Gordon may be in 4 laps, buddy. He may come in early. There is something in this as far as those tires are concerned. And that could happen to Jarrett just as easily before this thing's over.
He's also watching in his mirror because right behind him is Martin. Martin's closing in on him as well. He's just lost ground to Schrader. Labonte has gotten by him.
10 cars in the lead lap, nearly halfway before we saw the first sign of caution. Then, boom, it was all over. It was like the 4th of July. There were fireworks everywhere. 6 cautions, lots of big wrecks. The good news is nobody was hurt. The most severe, and I've got to take a proviso on that, we're waiting for more word on Johnny Benson and on Ricky Craven. They're still being examined. They're conscious. They're talking. They're okay. They want to do a lot more checking.
You can see Mark Martin right now moving in on Jeff Gordon. You can see Jeff's car is very, very slow in the center part of the corner. Mark should be able to just go up there and go right on by.
There goes the Valvoline, number 6 from Jack Roush Racing after that Chevrolet, and Randy can tell us more about that 24 car.
Well, about the last 10 laps or so, Gordon has been talking about the car just being extremely loose. They're looking at pitting on lap 267. They're going to take a half a round of wedge out of the right rear, and you better believe it's going to be 4 tires under green.
So, perhaps in another lap, we're going to see Jeff Gordon get in a little early here about lap 399.
Ken, that worked for this group in 1994 when they won the World 600. They made a pit stop, only taking on 2, but you see him coming in now.
And that was at the end of the race, though, buddy.
Yeah,
that's the difference. Yeah. They did this much earlier.
But this is going to throw him out of sync. And how many times have we seen the 600 or 500 Charlotte won by the car that came out of sync? Randy's there.
Well, I don't think this will put them out of sync, Ken, because what they're going to do is they're losing ground on the rubber they have on this car. So what they want to do is go ahead and pit early. Let's hope they don't get a caution. Then when they put new skins on this thing, they'll pick up time on the racetrack. So they're looking to pick up some time. Those guys are out there with older rubber. Now Jeff is down on the way with 4 tires with an excellent 1936 stop.
Leaders just put him down.
Yep. He just lost a lap in the pits. Well, he's got his work cut out for him now.
Jarrett in first, Earnhardt is second, Schrader third, Terry Labonte fourth, Mark Martin is fifth, Sterling Marlin is sixth, and then you have Bobby Labonte in seventh with Michael Waltrip eighth, followed by Ernie Irvan, and out back a lap down is Jeff Gordon. In that same lap is Derek Cope 11th, Ricky Rudd 12th, and in 13th, O'Donnell. And there's a great view of that 24-degree banking. You see those lights? They shine off those mirrors and onto the track. Who would have ever believed, buddy, that they could make a lighting system so fine for a super speedway?
Yeah, and I ran in the first race they ever run with the lights fixed like this, and it was so bright out there. When you run up behind the car, you can see inside of everything inside the car in front of you. That's how good the lighting is.
It's a spectacular view from the grandstands here, just as it is from the television that you're watching at home. Pretty to watch this at night.
Does the shadow bother at all?
Not at all. You never see any shadows whatsoever. You can see it's on the right side just a little bit. Here comes the leader in.
Wow, he didn't give anybody warning.
Steve Burns is down there waiting. That's the red carpet leasing, number 88 for Dale Jarrett. From Robert Yates Racing, Todd Parrott, the pit crew, await this car on pit road.
Ken, Todd Parrott's brother, Brad Parrott, is responsible for keeping air pressure. He says they're going to take a half pound out of the right front. Now, this will be a 4-tire change. The right side, as you can see, was very, very quick. No chassis adjustments with the exception of a half pound of air out of the right front. Dale Jarrett is down and away.
Terry Labonte.
20.3 seconds.
20.3, and Terry Labonte right behind him on pit road. Terry Labonte from number 5 waiting to come out. Still on. They've gone all the way around on that car, and Randy's there.
Well, was a wedge adjustment, and on the left side, and 4 tires for Labonte. Down and away. The key will be how much did Gordon pick up in car lengths by having tires for 2 laps.
I can tell you how much this guy just picked up. 5 bonus points. He just led a lap.
First time tonight?
Yep.
Earnhardt.
I bet he'll come in for pizza now.
I'll bet you it's all gone. Oh, boy. Chocolate Myers is down there.
Yeah, that guy could care less about food right now. He's in pursuit of a 600-mile race right now.
And another step up toward that 8th Winston Cup championship. That's on his mind a lot.
Jarrett's too. Jarrett's second in the points. Earnhardt leads the points, at least coming into this event tonight. They're both taking championship for sure.
This team went through another change of leadership in the crew chief. David Smith, respected, well-liked guy, has stepped up there where Andy Petrie had been, where Shelmerdine had been, and they just keep on motoring.
Remember years ago, everybody said, oh, they've just got it all together, and what a perfect team. And then they lost a motor builder, and then another motor builder, and people come in and keep replacing each other. And yet this team simply motors on in the front. It's got a lot of depth.
Depth is the word. Yes. The depth and also great notes. Let me tell you, when you build a team, you keep your notes. And Richard Childress has been smart enough to keep all those good people together and interface them and really come up.
A couple of loose notes there.
Well, you said earlier today that there's nobody in this grandstand that's neutral about Dale Earnhardt. They're all wound up. As right now, the 25 Schrader is on pit road. Mark Martin, too. Randy's with Mark Martin.
Schrader pits down just a ways toward turn 4. There goes the track bar adjustment, getting ready to turn. The wrenches in the rear of the Valvoline Ford. 4 tire stops. 4 tire stop. Left side tires getting ready to come off. Patty Moise.
Yes, we're down here at the 25 pit. The Budweiser was really pumped up for that stop. It was 4 tires, 2 cans of fuel, and it didn't look like any chassis adjustments at all. Now the speed burns.
Dale Earnhardt in to go to the right side. This is one of the best pit crews in the business. John Malloy over the wall. Here they come around to the left side. Do not see a tire, or rather a chassis adjustment. Again, they do clean the windshield. Many teams have been complaining of that. Gas goes in. The left side tires are on. The car's down, and Dale Earnhardt's away.
Trench warfare at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, and that's where this race most likely will be won, with this many running this tightly together. Those guys in the trenches will make the difference. Randy waiting on car number 18, Bobby Labonte, currently the leader as he came off the track.
Bobby Labonte is in. Jimmy Makar and the crew go to work on the Interstate Chevy. Right side tires, don't see a wedge wrench, no track bar wrench going in as well. Right side's already done for the Interstate team. Left side's getting ready to come off. Jack goes up, car up in the air as Steve Grissom screams by to speed away. Pretty good pit stop from Bobby Labonte and crew. He's down and away.
So we're back underway with, did you see Michael Waltrip? Yeah, Michael Waltrip just coming out. Jarrett is pitted, so we've gone through that entire group that's in the front 10. We missed anybody? Don't think so. We're seeing Dallenbach come in, and I think we would have our leader back as the 88 of Dale Jarrett. We'll take a break and be back with you. We're at lap 278. They came in around 275 up to 278 to make these pit stops in the 600. Dale Jarrett has just put Michael Waltrip a lap down. Michael running in the 9th position leaves 8 cars up in that front lap with 282 laps. Now complete 423 of the 600 miles.
Well, Michael Waltrip's still my hero for going as fast as he is with the front end of that car that's smashed up.
You see the number 7, that's Jeff Bodine, and he is in the 12th position. There he is. And there's your leader, Jarrett, continuing to motor on away with Earnhardt still staying in 2nd spot. Labonte 3rd, Gordon, Schrader, Martin, Marlin, and Bobby Labonte comprising the front of the field.
Jarrett is having. Won the Clash at Daytona, won the Daytona 500. There he is in the lead here.
You know, when Jeff Gordon come in a while ago, guys, everybody thought he was going to get out of sequence. But when they got the stopwatches on him and got looking at how fast he was running on new tires, they said, we can't stay out here on old tires and take a chance, because he was about a second faster than the guys out there on new tires. So they ducked in, and everybody's in sequence now, and a great race coming up.
Well, Jarrett was one of the very first drivers to arrive in the garage this morning. He said his strategy for tonight was to be patient. He didn't want to run too hard too soon. He said there will be a lot of cars in the lead lap for a long time. When that's done and over with, if we've got the right stuff, we're going to go. Well, time to go, and he is.
They're doing a good job with him all the way around here. You know, they talked about him being dehydrated earlier. They had to get fluid into him. Look at the 25 and the 6 here a little further back. 25 and the 6 for fifth spot, Schrader and Martin.
Look at Martin, though. That car is really strong from the center part out. He just put Kenny Schrader away down, coming out of turn 2.
Schrader could do a thing about it. Mark Martin just motored on by. And that's right after the pit stops. So Martin's going to be strong.
Give Martin run up there into fifth position. Drop Schrader to 6. 25. Ooh, is he bottoming out? And that turn 1 is where you usually see the sparks fly.
Ken, there's a rise in the pavement there. As you start into turn 1, the car feels like it absolutely drops out from under you, and then it just bottoms out as it starts into the corner.
Last year, clean sweep for Mark Martin. He won on Saturday, won on Sunday, won yesterday.
Saw Rusty Wallace again. He's worked his way up to 35th position as he keeps scrambling for points. You see him in the picture, and he's of note. Started 42nd, worked his way all the way into the front of the field, and collected in this big melee going into turn number 1.
And that is the ugliest car on the racetrack. But it's out there.
But it's the most beautiful car, I think, when it's all set up and ready to go. That number 2 is one beautiful piece of machinery.
It's amazing.
Sure isn't right now.
Yeah, it's amazing they got it back out there at all.
Also, at the end of the year, 5 points could be thousands of dollars. That's why he's out there.
Could even be a championship. More sparks. Schrader this time.
What's dragging when he goes through there, buddy?
Well, it's probably the exhaust pipes hitting just a little bit as they start in there. The slowest part under the car, you can see it right there, the left rear, right in front there. The exhaust is hitting just a little bit.
Steve Grissom, 17th position at car number 29. There's the leader. There's Jarrett bumping along in this race. And he has got one humongous lead right now. And take a look back to where number 3 Earnhardt is.
Humongous. That's huge, right?
Large.
Okay.
This is Dale Jarrett's best ever performance at Charlotte Motor Speedway in this division.
14 seconds? 14 seconds, that big. There's 22 back up again. That's Burton. He's in 19th spot. A quick report and a really good one we've been waiting for some time. Rick Benjamin, please.
Well, Ken, we're here at the SDP Pit Communication Center. In the years I've been doing this, few guys I've been as happy to see as Johnny Benson Jr. What happened out there?
I'm not really sure. I mean, I'm pretty sure we cut it right front going into one, or at least I think it's that end. I don't remember which end, and hit the wall pretty hard. And I don't know. I looked at the back of the car. I don't remember getting hit, so that's probably a good thing, though.
You were fighting to keep the car up on the wall, and then you slid down the banking.
Well, I guess.
It looked that way.
I tell you, these guys at Penta Pontiac just doing a super job. And this car, we sat on a pole at that Atlanta. I thought, man, this car's pretty good. And now we hurt the back, so I told him we can get rid of it now.
It took a while. How do you feel? You were in the care center for a while.
Yeah, I'm just sore. I mean, there's no doubt about it. And it's going to be worse tomorrow and Tuesday, I think. But, you know, at least everybody's all right. I mean, I saw Ricky in there, and that's when I found out I got hit. And he looks like he's doing good.
Good.
Like I say, I mean, he didn't need another wreck. You know, he just had that big Talladega wreck. And like I say, I mean, Ricky's a good competitor. I'm sorry, you know, that he got in it too. And like I say, it's just one of them things, I think.
And you'll be ready for Dover next week.
Not with that car. we'll have a brand new car for down there, so hopefully we'll be in good shape.
All right, Johnny Benson Jr., thanks for joining us. Good luck the rest of the season. Glad you're feeling fine. Ken?
Grand Rapids, Michigan's best, Johnny Benson Jr., Grand National Champion from a year ago. walking away from a disaster in turn 2 here at the Coca-Cola 600.
And today was his first ever Winston Cup start at Charlotte. He'll remember it.
Sure will, with an exclamation point. Dale Jarrett trying to put a couple of exclamation points together right now as he laps Lake Speed. When Joe Gibbs originally hired Dale Jarrett, he said, I wanted somebody who worked their way up, paid the price, been through all of it. And I think that Dale Jarrett has. And of course, he proved that and went on to win for Joe Gibbs in Daytona a couple of years back. Here he is out in front, and he has the field covered by 14 seconds. He and the Quality Care team liked their setup at the Winston Select last Saturday, and he talked to us about it earlier.
We're going to try to keep the car as close to that as we possibly can. Obviously, you got to have something a little bit different at 5 o'clock when we're going to start, but we just want to make it to where we can adjust it and get back to there because we think the car was awful good there. Obviously, we gave up a little something trying to come from the back, but last I checked, they're not going to invert the field anytime during the 600, and we should be okay.
Well, putting Bobby Labonte a lap down now.
And remember that Bobby Labonte is in 8th position. Bobby Labonte, 8th place car, going a lap down. You have 7 cars, which are Jarrett, Earnhardt, Terry Labonte, Gordon, Martin, Schrader, Marlin, now being shown in that lead lap.
Well, what a record Todd Parrott, the crew chief, has. Just getting started, whole brand new team. When you think about it, Larry McReynolds can't wait to leave Charlotte because their setup's not right. Look at the team car, how well it's running.
Let's pan back through the field and show you some of the cars running tonight, folks. In the Coca-Cola 600, 302 laps have been completed of the 400. And there you see that 18 car, the Joe Gibbs car, now with Bobby Labonte at the keyboard. And he is being shown at the present time in 8th spot, 8th position for number 18. Taking a look at the next one around, and there's that 29 car.
He's in the 18th spot. Steve Grissom, R2 Network car.
A couple of laps down. Yep. Then you've got Michael Waltrip out here tonight, and Michael still holds in 9th. He's 1 lap off the leader in the Wood Brothers car with that fender crumpled up over there.
I was just fixing to say he's been awful fast, but he has damage to the right front corner.
Take a look at the 33 car, and that's been battered some. That's Presley.
Greg Sachs.
Greg Sachs now in it. Presley took that first lap to get the points. Sachs now aboard. That one got crashed down here in the first turn, and then comes the 7 car.
Well, he's looking for his first top 15 position finish, and right now he's in 11th. This would be his best finish of the year if he finishes here.
Lap down. Yeah. Jeff Bodine. A little further back, you've got, I think you got the 16 car coming up here next. Yeah, and he's well back. That's Musgrave, and boy, was that battered.
He hates that car. Hates that car. He says, when this race is over, that thing's going to be a show car. He doesn't want to drive it ever again.
In the Select, he said he brought a knife to a gunfight.
Yeah, and this...
Rick Mast in the number 1, running in 12th position. Mast with the Hooters car in 12th position. A couple laps down. And you're going to see, should see Joe Nemechek come up here.
Yeah, Nemechek, car number 87, all the way back in 26th spot.
Ernie Urban right behind him, and he's running in 10th. Ernie Urban been up there fighting it out all night, just off those leaders, in 10th. Down the lap from the leaders. Going back to the field, there's the 99, and we should have Burton in that one. And Jeff, let's see, where is he running at the present time? It's 19th spot.
Well, the Roush cars. Buddy Parrott is the crew chief there. Father of Todd and Brad.
And there you see Earnhardt, the 2nd place car. Still chasing Jarrett right now. Jarrett's in the zone by himself now. And the 43. Well back. Bobby Hamilton.
32nd spot. losing one of his positions. 75 Morgan Shepherd. You can hardly see that thing. It's all painted up like camouflage. Is it there? Can we see it?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
In the 81 car.
One of the Wallace brothers. That's Kenny Wallace. Kenny spun on pit road early in the race, but he's been very, very diligent. He's still running a good, hard race tonight.
Terry Labonte, your third place runner, in number 5. This is almost settled down into a regular race after all the stuff we had earlier.
Don't count on it. This thing's a long way from over. We've got almost 100 laps to go.
Less than that.
Just a little less.
That's just a sprint race compared to what we had when we started, guys. I tell you right now, with strategy and those last minute adjustments that you make when you make your last stop.
Todd Bodine, who crashed in qualifying and tore up the car he wanted to run, he's running 22nd. He's given up 3 or 4 laps to the leaders. Called it 4. And there's Derek Cope.
Look at Derek Cope, how high he is running in the corners. I've noticed that he's been running a line that nobody else has even tried yet. It must be working for him, though. He's running quite well.
13th. Key Rudd.
14th spot. Same car that won the pole here last fall, not running so well today.
And right behind him is that 4th place car of Jeff Gordon. He's in that lead lap. 7 cars in the lead lap at the present time.
See what they do with that thing on the next round of pit stop. See if they can adjust it back into convention.
Right up the middle there, thank you very much. Take a look at Mark Martin staying in this thing in 5th spot, not too far behind Gordon.
He's been in this thing all night long.
But he always is. He's in everything. Yep. All night, all day. Whenever they run, you'll find him around.
DW. 49 years old. Going to have a new crew chief for the Japanese race, you know.
Is he really?
Yeah. A guy called Win One Soon is going to be the
Win One Soon.
That's right, for the Japanese race.
Did Baker tell you that joke?
No, Darrell Waltrip told that joke. He told it himself.
He stole it from me. I had a dog named that one time.
Win One Soon?
Yeah, I did. It was a chow.
What kind of a dog was it? A chow, and you named it Win One Soon?
Yeah.
Baker would do that, wouldn't he? You had a chow named Win One Soon.
I did. I won the Daytona
Red chow or black chow?
Right after I got him.
Red chow or black chow?
Red.
Red.
Yeah.
Tom Petty in the 42 car. He just came back from that big motorcycle run. They raised $600,000 for charity riding Harley Davidsons across America. I'd have ridden mine across America for nothing.
Did you hear that the guys down in the pits, there's 25 Ken Schrader in 6th spot, raised over $10,000 today for Scott Brayton's daughter.
And our leader was right in the middle of all that, too. Dale Jarrett and his crew right in the middle of trying to raise all that money for Scott Brayton's young daughter.
Give her an education program for the future. Dick Trickle. Wasn't he grand yesterday? His 3rd, 2nd place in the Grand National race.
20th spot right now.
20th place for Dick Trickle. Still with Dick Trickle, riding right with him now. Dick Trickle, he just gets younger or something. He just keeps flying that health source car. He's taken that ride over. And yesterday, he drove the Duralube car. Darren Muir won that race. Martin beat him. And there you see the 6th car again, Mark Martin.
That's for position. Yep. 4th spot. Gordon's in 4th. Mark Martin is in 6th. With a hand signal. Thank you. Appreciate you letting me by.
Isn't that nice? You have a hand signal like that to let the people around you know, because there's no lights apparently on the race cars. You can see that. But you have hand signals if you want them to pass on the inside, outside, or if you want them to drop back as you start in the corner because you're a little bit loose, you put your hand up like that, and you can see Derek Cope drop back and move up on the racetrack and give him free run.
John Andretti now pulling onto pit road in number 37, running in 27th position. Andretti eases on down in.
Anybody ever give you a bogus hand signal, buddy?
Yeah, like something was wrong in front, and I backed off, and the guy drove off into the sunset, and I had to run him back down again. I didn't pay any attention to his hand signals anymore.
Take a look at Mark Martin closing in on Jeff Gordon for 4th spot. Battle for position. Gordon right down the inside. 317 of the 400 laps run. And this is it again, a Ford Chevy battle. Ford on the bottom, Chevy on the outside.
They're pretty even getting into the corner. Now watch as they drop off in here. You'll see right here, Mark is just a little bit better getting in now. Gordon's fighting back to the outside as they come off the corner.
They've got Kenny Wallace right up in front of him. He's going to be a pick for somebody. Pick for Mark Martin.
Well, he fades high.
They give him
not
room.
high enough in that area now.
Yeah, they gave him plenty of room, but
so Mark Martin picks up a position. He goes to fourth, and Jeff Gordon drops to fifth, and the leader's got himself some traffic to try to needle through now. There's Dick Trickle just in front of him. Looks like Sterling Marlin, too, there, yeah. About to lap the 7th place car.
You know, Sterling Marlin's usually up there fighting for the lead, but this whole 2 weeks here at Charlotte, he has not had that car dialed in just like he wanted it.
So, 319 laps, 478 and a half of the 600 miles are in the books. Stay with us. Coca-Cola 600 continues to ramble at Charlotte.
Ken, I would like a banana. Who is that with their pit mic open? Yay.
Get me some new stuff on Jarrett. Come down some more.
Some new stuff here, gosh.
How many people that dog bite?
Huh?
I had a chow.
He was mean, boy, I'm telling you. You know what I'm talking about. They don't even like their owners.
Dale Jarrett on parade out in front, puts a lap on Sterling Marlin, the 7th place car, and continues to draw away from the field. Now they've got another pit stop to make, another tire change, and we all know what happened to Dale Jarrett the other night when they ran the Winston Select Pickford.
Yeah, he got a set of tires that didn't agree with him, and he went from being the fastest car on the racetrack to being not so the fastest car on the racetrack, and they've got one more round of stops to go, and that tire story may well play here. Or what the mechanics do to the car may well play. These cars are very sensitive. It is a finicky racetrack. A couple of pounds of air pressure can make all the difference. It could make somebody speed up or somebody slow down.
If I was working on that 88, I'd put 4 tires on it to clean the windshield. I would not work on the chassis when it comes in. It's really good right now.
Did you see Kenny Wallace's hand come out the window of the car, pointed to the left and said, "Come on by me on the left-hand side"?
Steve Burns can handle it here.
Ken, they're leaving absolutely nothing to chance down here. Brad Parrott, the tire specialist, is checking valve stems. You know, the lug nuts are glued up to the wheels. They're making sure those are tight. So they're leaving absolutely nothing to chance. The last pit stop, they took half a pound out of a tire. Not this time. As Buddy said, they're going to slap foreskins on it and let it rip.
This is not a time for massaging.
Not when it's sticking to that white line like it is through the corner. And it's flying down the straightaway. That's the other part that we hadn't mentioned. That car is extremely fast.
Put it all together tonight. Absolutely all together. Dale Jarrett riding on a rail, doing a brilliant job of driving the car. Pit crew has done its work.
It's never a matter of just one thing. People who are new to racing, they go looking for the trick camshaft or the right crew chief or a good motor builder or whatever. But to have a performance like this, you have got to have absolutely every single element lined up. Jarrett looking for his 6th career win.
Hey, here's a guy you might remember, Baker.
Oh, boy. I tell you what, he's the guy that gave me, other than my father started me out in racing, but this guy right here put me in a race car. I won my first major race with him. I also won a 600 with him. I wouldn't be here today if it weren't for this guy right here, Ray Fox. Boy, oh boy.
Yeah. And of course, David Pearson won for him here at Charlotte. 80 years old next week. Ray Fox still looking good.
Crew chief of Junior Johnson when Junior won the Daytona 500.
Great man. He was the finest tuner that was ever in the sport as far as getting the ultimate out of the heads, out of the carburetor. He was the best.
At Charlotte, watching Jarrett lead in the Coca-Cola 600 over Earnhardt, Terry Labonte, Mark Martin, Jeff Gordon, Ken Schrader. Those cars, and also Sterling Marlin. Well, I'll take that back. He's gone a lap down now. He's got 6 cars left in that lead lap. Back to Schrader. And running like a bullet right now. And now 18, Bobby Labonte. Looks like his car is backing up.
Oh, he's way off the pace. You can see him around the bottom of the racetrack there. He's really slowed up.
So the 18, the Interstate Batteries Food Lion, number 18. He's waving him off. He's coming in. That's unfortunate. Defending champion in this race.
Motor sounds good. Up.
Little downshift there. Coming into the pits.
Randy's waiting for him down there.
Oh. I can see it. I can see it. And there he is. He's in pits. Bobby Labonte under the hood. Not a good sign for Bobby Labonte. They're dumping gas. No tires. All they want to do is make it to the finish. It is not running. It is definitely flat with the hood up. 4 tough break for Bobby Labonte. Mark Martin sitting right behind him will be in just a matter of laps.
Ken, you can see them there looking to see if there's a wire off or what's wrong. They're checking the motor over. It is skipping.
Well, he got a second at Darlington. That's been his best performance this year. He's not going to duplicate what he did a year ago when he tore this house down at Charlotte.
Just one lap down. Sure, just went by him.
Hey, buddy, the last time we came in for pit stops, Earnhardt ran 5 more laps than Jarrett. Jarrett pitted on 271, Earnhardt 276. So Jarrett probably due almost any lap now to come in. But then the distance to the end from here, we're at lap, what, 333? Did I read that right? Wow.
That's going to have a lot to do with the outcome of this race. If somebody can stretch it a little bit now and make it one more stop, that could be the difference.
Earnhardt historically does not get the best of gas mileage. He gets the best of horsepower, which eats up a good bit of fuel, and he doesn't get the best mileage.
But Jarrett's come up a couple of times short on a fuel run, hasn't he? I mean, if you're going to get down to that, boy, I would sure look at Terry Labonte at number 5.
You would have to. He's very easy on the throttle and all, and a lot of people get better gas mileage because they drive so much easier on and off the accelerator.
I'm getting a note here that we're going to see Earnhardt in about lap 338, 4 laps away. There's Earnhardt, your second place car. What's that interval, first to second? Still about 14? 10.8. So Earnhardt's cut into Jarrett by, he cut into him by 5 seconds from what he had at one point. Now you've got Gordon on pit road. Jeff Gordon is in, 5th place car. Well, Hendrick Racing comes to a halt. Randy?
You see the wedge wrench going in. 1 round of fight out of the right rear. There it is. 1 round, 4 tire stop. Want to get every ounce of fuel that they can get in because it's going to be close, although they think they can make it. Lap 335. It's a 4 tire stop for Gordon. Pretty good stop, down and away.
Leader on pit road. Steve Burns waiting for Dale Jarrett's pit stop. Will it be his last? We'll see. Steve?
Ken, don't forget, last year at Pocono, Dale Jarrett won a race on fuel mileage. He's very easy on the throttle. He's got it in right now. Again, no chassis changes. They don't plan any. Just 4 tires. The right side tires are being put on. The windshield is clean. The gas is in. It is going to be close, though. It is going to be close on mileage. The left side tires are on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lugs on the left. A little bit of a problem, but he's out of the way. Let's go to Randy Pemberton.
Wedge adjustment also for Terry Labonte. A little slow on the right side for the 5 team. Left side tires now getting ready to come off as they await Mark Martin's arrival on pit road. Tires going back on the co-op's car. Terry out of the way. Patty Moley's with the 25 stop.
Yeah, the 25 car's in the pits is getting 4 tires and 2 cans of fuel. I didn't see any chassis adjustments, and he's down and away.
Leaders in and out.
Not all of them. Haven't seen Earnhardt yet.
That's the one we haven't seen, but you're about.
Here he comes.
Final man in the group in the lead lap. Here's Earnhardt easing down to speed. Steve Burns awaits the stop of the Goodwrench Richard Childress car. 3-time winner of the 600. Brings it on down.
Earnhardt's in, and it'll be interesting to see if they take 4 tires to try to make up track position on Dale Jarrett. They get the right sides changed, come back around to get gas in. This will be a 4-tire stop. The jack goes in, John Malloy has the car up. Left side's on. All the gas is in. Earnhardt's down and away. Let's go to Randy.
Battling forward in with driver Mark Martin. Jack Roush checked with Mitch Williams, the catch can man, last time by trying to figure out how much gas was left in the catch can after the last pit stop. Down and away, 4 tires, gas all over the place. Excellent stop for the Valvoline team.
So there you have it. Leaders have all been in and out. There's Dale Jarrett back on the track, getting bottled up a little there. Going to, whoa! Having a get through the eye of the needle on that one. 99 not giving him much fair room at all, as Jeff Burton was there, the guy that's running in 13th spot. Jarrett's away and flying for Ford. Will those colors stay up? We'll see and see shortly. We're at lap 344, and there you see Dale Jarrett ever closer to victory in the 600. Behind him is Earnhardt in second, Terry Labonte in third, Gordon in fourth, Martin in fifth, and the 6th place car, Schrader, has just been lapped by Dale Jarrett. Greg Sachs going along their lap down in number 33 for Robert Presley. He started the car, cracked rib, and stepped out after about 25 to 30 laps.
I'm going to change my vote and give the ugliest car on the racetrack award to number 33.
There's several strong candidates in that category. Rusty Wallace is certainly one.
Bobby Labonte is back on pit road.
Falling off here now pretty dramatically, Bobby Labonte. Randy?
We're going to go ahead and put some tires on it while they got it in here. You'll see the crew member taking out the window of the passenger side. That means they're going in to try to get to the battery compartment. They need to change the battery. It was going dead on them, so unbelievable. If the battery goes dead in the interstate car, but it happens every now and again. As far as pit stops go, guys, I believe everybody's making from here on in.
Well, don't necessarily blame the battery. There's a charging system involved that has to get that battery up to speed as well. Crew working, trying to change it.
Right there on the left rear, that's where the battery's at. He's taking it out right as we speak.
Ward, Burton, 22. Jimmy Spencer in the 23. This is for position. Burton is currently running in 13th spot.
And Waltrip is in that, too. He's in that same gang.
He's having a good night tonight.
15th spot.
Would everybody love to see Darrell Waltrip win another one? He will. I think he will.
Hey, Baker. Greg Fielding says, you can check in here. Jarrett has gone between green flag pit stops. First pit stop, he went 60 laps. The second one, he went 58 laps. And the third, 65. Laps to go following that last stop, 64. Sounds like he's in the window.
He's in the window. Just hope they got it all the way full. That's one thing you never know. And if put that gas can up there where if every drop goes in there or not. So it may be close. So
let's ask Todd Parrott about that. Steve Burns.
These guys are conferring right now. Let's go right to the horse's mouth. Can you guys make it on gas?
Yeah, I mean, right now it looks like we can make it by about a lap, maybe 2 laps. He's been saving fuel, of course, having the lead that we got. He's been able to take care of it. Just thank the good Lord for a good, safe night. And things have gone good. Just hope this last 50 laps goes as good as the last 100.
Good luck. You guys have run great.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Certainly took a lot of lessons from his dad, didn't he?
Things have gone good. How about things have gone great? Well, so much for the Ford romp that was supposed to happen tonight. There's one Ford that's romping. I guess not all Fords are created equal, huh, buddy?
Well, that's the whole thing. It's teams that make this racing what it is today. And as you said, every Ford's not running like this 88 is right now, Dale Jarrett.
Started down the street, Hickory Speedway. So many have started in this part of the world. It has created so many champions. In fact, his dad was promoting down there in that area. We get to share a group with on many good occasions. Could have been a pro golfer, but still close by. Burns it there. Right now, he's hitting far out here in this one. Got this 1.5 miles covered. And Arnold Palmer's choice tonight. Dale Earnhardt sits right there in second. Who was his second choice?
As we get closer to the end, I'm going to remind some people of something I said during qualifying the other night about who might win this race, but I won't brag right now.
You want to say that again?
No.
Mark Martin in the 7th spot.
In the
check that.
In the fifth spot.
Fifth spot. Looking for Jeff Gordon, who is in the 4th spot.
And closing in pretty dramatically.
Artie Irvin sandwiched in between them. You see the tape on the left front of Mark Martin's number 6 car. Irvin is 9th, a lap down. Getting close out there, getting tight.
Artie Irvin stays there in 9th spot. They're inside the window to get themselves home to the checkers. Can Jarrett do it? We'll see.
We're going to have to go somewhere besides that 88 car. We got 3 wide coming off the corner down. Oh, my. We can point out a few things. Going into turn 3, you can see how soft this car, the 88 car, is set up. I mean, the car just jumps like 2 feet every time it goes into turn 3. That's the later one. Man, he's doing everything right. Good. Yay.
Find some Neil Bonnet and some Ellen Kawicki's quotes. Good, thank you. Thank you.
I'll try. He won't give up his banana, will he? You notice that? I went, give me a banana.
You didn't get
a
banana?
You want a banana? No, not now. No, I've already turned off to the idea. I'll bring my own next time.
No.
There it is. No longer a battle. Nope.
How about that for a shot? I don't think that Jeff Gordon's still giving it a pretty strong stab. Right after Mark Martin giving you those pictures off the back end of the number 6 Valvoline car.
When a car gets that close to you in the middle part of the corner, right up under you like that, it really makes the car in front under him like that.
Trying to help the tire wear a little in that number 6. Earnhardt's kind of caught up here on Jimmy Spencer in the 23.
Earnhardt running in second spot, well behind the leader, Dale Jarrett. Spencer laps down,
13th. Back up to the 6 and the 24. This is the best scramble on the track at the present time, and it's for fourth spot. Mark Martin still controlling that position.
Driving a car that they call Blazer. It's a Blazer, all right. It won Rockingham in '95 at Atlanta. It's won Darlington twice. It won Dover, Holes at Indy, Darlington, and Rockingham. If only they could have got another mile an hour or so speed out of it, and they're in a Blazer tonight. See who's... Oh, my goodness. Look at this. Jarrett right behind those guys.
He's got them covered.
Oh, he is stout.
40 laps to go, folks, and Dale Jarrett is as tough as anything there is in the toughest race of them all, the Coca-Cola 600 here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway.
I bet I know whose engine's going on that dynamometer tonight. Dyno jet. I bet I know the first choice.
I bet Dale Jarrett will drive it this time on the dyno. What do you want to bet?
Well, we'll see how that goes.
Suppose that motor might blow up right on the finish line like one did years ago in the clash with down there at Daytona. I remember that one.
Yeah. 1985, right here. Darrell Waltrip wins the Winston and blows up coming across the line, and everybody always wondered how big was that motor.
And he's around the 99 of. He's around Jeff Burton's car, and he is definitely closing down on those leaders. Boy, he is just destroying this field.
Well, anybody that knows Robert Yates knows that they have good motors, but I'll guarantee you one thing. The size won't be it, it'll be horsepower.
Yeah. And it won't be just the motor either, buddy. I'm sure that this is, you know, again, I can't stress enough the combination concept. They have just got it all together tonight. These two guys do too. I mean, they're running extremely well.
4th and 5th.
Yep. Been right there all night long. It's just this one guy running a whole lot better than everybody else.
Martin Gordon, 4th and 5th.
Don't you think every other team wants to know how much horsepower is under the hood of that number 88 car?
Inquiring minds want to know.
Yes.
Isn't it strange, though, that the guy that sits on the pole does not necessarily have the fastest car in the race? You know why? Most of them have a qualifying motor, and then they put a race motor in, and sometimes the guy on the pole is not the quickest car on the racetrack in the race car.
Yeah, huge changes in the chassis as well. After qualifying, they'll take the 4 springs out, put 4 different springs in, 4 different shock absorbers, change all sorts of things in the car. It's a very different car to make a 1-lap run for the pole versus a 400-lap run tonight.
Number 19 running in 19th position. Dick Trickle just pulls on the pit road. There you see the 19 in there, the health source car. Dick Trickle giving it a good ride. Final pit stop. Slapping on 4 tires.
Loy Allen, the regular driver of that car, once Loy is healthy enough, he was hurt at Rockingham. Once he's healthy enough to return, Trickle will have to give that ride up. It is Loy's regular ride. Say hi to Loy tonight. Wish you well. Oh, boy, look at the left front of Trickle's car.
He was out in the bar here somewhere in the course of the 600.
Sure was.
So Mark Martin stays in front of Jeff Gordon. And that position is 4th on the field. Terry Labonte lies 3rd. We haven't said too much about Terry, but there's not much to say about anyone except Dale Jarrett and Robert Yates. What a story Robert Yates is, the guy that is the overseer of the entire team down there.
Robert Yates' father was my preacher when I was a little boy at the Baptist Church here in Charlotte.
Do any good?
No. Oh, my God. I tell you what, I've had a hard time up here, folks. These guys have been eating me alive tonight.
Well, let me ask you a really tough question, Buddy Baker. You led the most laps here in 1968, 1973. Is it possible that he could just get complacent, Dale Jarrett could just get complacent and lulled into, I've got the best race car, I've got this thing in the bag?
That's old racing right there. And Ned Jarrett's told us, boy, that's one thing you don't do is sit there and lose concentration, because right now Everything's working so well. He's on a ride right now of his lifetime. Believe you me, he's not going to give it away, I don't think.
Sure doesn't look like he's going to do that right now, as he continues to pour it on and pull away from the rest of the field in the Robert Yates car. The engine builder, Robert Yates, the team owner, the 9th and youngest child of the prominent Southern Baptist minister, a great minister. Born about a little while after his twin brother. Oh, look at Schrader going down. And remember that Winston Million. This really comes into play now. It looks like Jarrett is very close to the second step to that Winston Million, which will be decided at Darlington on Labor Day.
Yeah, if he can win the Southern 500, he gets a $1 million bonus. Bill Elliott did it in 1985, and I'll tell you, he brought the house down. I'm sure Dale Jarrett would as well.
There were two candidates. Jarrett winning at Daytona in the 500. Sterling Marlin, winner at Talladega. That on the 25.
You want to know what a sandwich wrapper looks like on a race car at 200 miles an hour? Right there it is. It's hung on the hood pin as it goes around the racetrack. It'll eventually wear itself out flapping around there.
Jarrett about to lap his teammate Ernie Irvin here. Ninth place car going down.
Love Auto Racing.
He's solid.
Want to get really deeply involved with it? There is a help wanted sign down on the NASCAR trailer from Philmar Racing, Concord, North Carolina, 28025. They are looking for help. We get dozens and dozens of letters from people saying, how do I get involved? Well, if you're really, really good at working on race cars, Philmar Racing, Concord, North Carolina, 28025. Anything but the very best need not apply.
A lot of stories about Robert Yates. You know, he worked as a chef and a curb hop, I don't lied about it, but he was probably 15 or 16 to get money for parts. He had 3 jobs and went to school, keep on getting money to buy parts for stuff, to learn about racing and building equipment. He's an incredible man.
He is the son of a preacher and all, but I'll tell you something. He told somebody he outrun me in high school, and that didn't happen.
That he outran you?
Yeah, in his road car, he told somebody he outrun me one time. That never happened.
Well, I'll tell you a story about him, and it is when he first formed the team, a one-car team with Davey Allison as his driver. He showed up at Daytona with no sponsor, deep in debt, trying to buy the team, and a lot of people wondered if they would even make it to the Daytona 500 when they had the car down there. And look at him now with a solid 2-car team, one of the most respected car owners in the garage area. Robert Yates has really made it in Winston Cup racing, as have both of his drivers. Getting down to it, folks.
About 25 laps to go. Next time by. And Dale Jarrett, hometown driver, comes from Concord, North Carolina, just a little bit north of Charlotte. This is going to be a very warmly accepted win by this crowd. And these are the best critics in motorsport, this gang that comes to Charlotte, the racing gang. Now there's Terry Labonte, your 3rd place car. And he's been smooth. He's been sort of out of the picture. He so often is. He's not in the picture. You don't see him mixing it up. You just find him there. You keep finding him digging right down to the end.
Let me tell you how hard this guy digs. He's got 2 DNFs this year, but he came into this race leading the most laps of any other driver in 1996. And he's another guy who's had oh boy, look what's on the front of his car, right on the nose of that one. That's some kind of little piece of something or other on the grill area, and that could cost him something.
The Hendrick cars, yeah, see it right there?
Let me tell you guys something. That very thing put him out of the Daytona 500 and Rockingham. It's a piece of paper, and you can see in Daytona it went in the air duct on the top up there. It goes to carburetor, now it's on part of the radiator.
Hot dog wrapper? What is it?
That looks like a piece of plastic there. That's not exactly a hot dog wrapper, but that's what got him in Daytona.
And it's another reason why, if you're a race fan, whether you go to short track or long track, wherever you go, with several of that stuff in the pocket or something, it really is to the advantage of the guys out there competing. It doesn't matter what size track, short track on a Saturday night or 6 cars coming in. Here's Mark Martin back on pit road, and Randy's waiting for him. Let's go to Randy Pemberton following the 5th place car.
How'd you like to go just about 600 miles and get a flat on the right side? And that's exactly what he has. He burned the tire up on it. Evidently, right side's going on. It'll be two tires only for the Baldwin team. Down and away, just about flipping the front tire changer. Wow, what a bad break.
Well, he had won 4 out of 5. He's not going to win 4 out of 6 here.
You know, I see the damage on the left front, but look at the right rear just behind the wheel there. Half of the quarter pound's gone.
They've been working on that all night, buddy. Every time he's come into the pit area, they have been working on it. Just as earlier, they had been working on Michael Waltrip's right front area. They had a crew in the left front, a crew in the right rear on these caution flags, time after time, trying to get the aerodynamics squared away.
35 cars remain on the track. 35. And up in front, we now have, what, 4 cars? 4 or 5 cars in the lead left. Maybe we should call it 4 with Martin falling away. And still, it's Dale Jarrett. What a steamroller he's been in this last 100 miles.
Ken, when you're out in the lead like this, you can hear everything in that car moving. I'm telling you, he's sitting there right now. He can actually, I bet you he thinks he can hear the wheel bearings when he goes down the straightaway. I've had big leads like that, and boy, it's unnerving to have it. You'd rather be racing somebody if you want to know the truth.
Yeah, and this is the longest race of the whole year, and if anything's going to go wrong, this is a place. He's got to be thinking right now, counting down every single lap. Well, he does have a habit of winning the big ones, though, doesn't he?
I tell you what.
Wow.
You see Mark Martin there. If you want to see what new tires do compared to even as well as Jarrett's running now, look at Mark Martin go by him on the outside going into turn 3. That's what new tires do.
This may put him over $1 million in earnings this year. He came in here having earned about $705,000 in the early part of the season. 11th race of the campaign, and Dale Jarrett just indomitable out here tonight. Made some $5,800,000 in his racing career in the Postal Awards from Winston Cup alone, and he looks like he's going to take a big step tonight.
Let me tell you what, not too very far ahead of him is the number 24 car, Jeff Gordon, who may go a lap down.
4th place.
Yeah.
382 complete of 400. Here he comes. Up on that 24 and that 6 again. Remember that 6 has gone down. He's in 8th position, Mark Martin. Urban is in 9th. Bodine, Jeff in 10th. Rick Mast 11th. On the 6th car, there's news, and Randy Pemberton has it.
Well, just in defense of Goodyear Tire and Rubber, the tire was up. Mark Martin did not have a flat, but he felt the vibration, and it was better safe than sorry, so he brought it down pit road for the tough break for the Valley.
Indeed. Vibration doesn't go away. You've got to go in when you feel a vibration. You've just got to bring the race car in and have them have a look at it, see if they can get her fixed.
Well, it may not have been a tire. You can sometimes get a broken wheel where it breaks in between the lugs there, and he did the right thing. You never chance it. When you get a vibration, like you say, it's not going to go away.
Yeah, when they say that in virtually every driver's meeting.
June 2nd, Dover, Delaware for the Winston Cup, then on to Pocono, Pennsylvania, and Michigan on June the 23rd. If you can get a ticket, it's worth the go. Winston Cup, most exciting, most competitive racing. This one's got long in the tooth towards the end tonight as Dale Jarrett has just meandered away from the rest of the pack.
Ken, we're talking that way, but how many races, you being a veteran that you are as an announcer, how many people have you seen in racing with this kind of lead and something go wrong right at the end? It's never over until it's over.
In fact, in this division, how many people have you seen with this kind of a lead? Period. Any time in the race. Pretty unusual. 15 to go.
15 laps remaining.
See Jeff Gordon there. He's just pretty much given up. He's moving away and letting, of course, Mark Martin go by on the fresher tires. Now, when they go in the corner, you can see how far he drops back. That's what happens when the tires get worn out.
And they're not racing for position as Martin is a lap down. Jarrett, Earnhardt, Labonte, Gordon up in front.
Whoa! All of a sudden, Jeff Gordon just flew by on the outside.
Didn't want to take any chances on that scoring.
Well, you know, they got some spotters, too, and they may have an eye right behind him at that number 88 of Jarrett. Good race here.
I could make a prediction of what happened there. He probably come off the corner there and got sideways him checked up, and that's the end result because you see him going right back by him.
We'll see if he closes back up again. Remember last time this happened, Gordon managed to close right up on the back bumper of Mark Martin. Is he going to do it again? Here he comes. Here he comes. Nah. Fading into the distance.
Michael Waltrip stays 7th. Battered car, but still 7th. Mark Martin in that 6th is in 8th. Ernie Irvan is in 9th. Jeff Bodine 10th. Rick Mast is 11th at the present time. Getting down to the end of the Coca-Cola 600 in its 37th running, and Dale Jarrett getting within 11 laps next time around of taking another major step, and the biggest step of all, one race away from the Winston Million. Only one man has ever accomplished that. Bill Elliott did it. Bill, hope you're enjoying this race tonight. I know you're not enjoying it as much as you would if the 94 was up there humming in this lead lap of the activity this evening, but all of us are looking forward to seeing you back real soon.
You know, when you win 2 legs of the $1 million, you get a bonus also. We're thinking of the million, but this is a $100,000 race right here.
A mere pittance.
Oh,
a mere pittance these days, Victor.
I'm talking about a bonus of $100,000 for winning 2 legs.
And that's how close he is to that. Will put him, well, you're right, it'll put him over the million mark for the season thus far. That $700,000 he's already collected.
I wonder if he's going to get Gordon a lap down before this is over.
He certainly is working on it.
Yep. Close the gap.
Tending to his knitting right here. He wants 10 laps to go, and he wants to decimate him. Boy, this is impressive. Todd Parrott and Robert Yates.
Now, congratulations, guys. What a job you've done in this car, no matter what happens in the next 10 laps.
You know, Buddy Parrott has to be standing in the pits with his chest out, too, because he taught Todd what he knows about chassis and all. And this whole team, I mean, they just have to be so pleased to have that younger guy able to set a race car up like this, and to have Robert Yates building the motors and a great driver like Dale Jarrett in it.
There he is, Todd Parrott. He was so pumped up that when they won Daytona, when they won that first race, the Clash, he said, you know, my dad came down here, and he came to Daytona, and the first big race he won was in car number 88 for DW back in those days. He says, and now I've done it. And there's Robert Yates.
A little twitch in his eye there. I don't blame him. If I was going for $1 million, I would have said Sage. That wasn't Robert, by the way.
Oh, I'm sorry. It sort of looked like it.
Yeah, it did. I think what happened there, I think everybody kind of wants to look like Robert the way that car's running right now.
Take your pardon.
He'll be signing some autographs tonight for sure. Dale Jarrett on a run here tonight at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Under the lights, rain delayed for almost an hour. Everybody else went searching for the right chassis combination after rain changed the racetrack. These guys had it, made the right adjustments all night long.
He's the new king of the super speedways. If he can pull it together for just 7 more laps, it'll be his 6th win, and they've all been on the supers. 2 at Daytona, 1 at Pocono, 1 at Michigan. This will be his 2nd win at Charlotte.
He's not closing at all on Jeff Gordon at this point. They're running at just about the same speed. And whether Jarrett has decided to hold back or Gordon is speeded up.
That's what I was going to suggest is happening right now. I'm sure that he knows it's his race if he does not give it away. And you don't see a Jarrett make too many mistakes when it comes right down to the end.
And you don't want to give it away. Not this late.
No, his daddy taught him good. Right?
This is going to be the first win, if it stays the way it is, for Ford since 1991. Davey Allison and Robert Ginsburg in the 600. Same thing. In the 600. Watching the laps run down here and watching Dale Jarrett get ever so much closer to that goal. Winning right here in the backyard for the Jarrett family. My favorite story of all time about Dale Jarrett will be after he won that first Daytona 500. We said this before. And they came back here, and he had his whole family down there. And his young daughter, she was in 2nd grade.
and the school teacher, everybody up in Concord was so proud of what they had done. She said his daughter is here, and we want everybody to listen because I think it was Natalie. Natalie was 5. Kindergarten.
Newton, Conover, Hickory area has to be proud right now.
And they said, "Would you like to tell them about what your father did?" And she said, "Yes. He took me to Disney World." She had her priorities.
Rick Benjamin.
Okay, we're checking some of Dale Jarrett's stats on the season. Looks like he'll pick up about 10 points on Dale Earnhardt with this victory tonight. If he hangs on, he'll cut the margin for Earnhardt down to 105 markers. And Dale's come from 15th starting spot to command this race. Close for quite a while in the middle portions of this Coca-Cola 600, but it's been a runaway the last 150 laps. And if Jarrett hangs on, he'll be the 21st driver to win one of these 600-mile events here at the Speedway.
Still holding on with 2 laps to go.
You know, as well as he has run, here's Earnhardt, who leads in the points, right behind him. No matter what he does, he can't get away from this guy. Only picks up 10 points, dominant as he has been. 5 for winning, 5 for leading the most laps.
3-time 600 winner Dale Earnhardt stays right there in second, while Dale Jarrett tries for his first 600 win. White flag is down. This is it for Jarrett.
Goes through one very nicely, right down on the bottom. You see him giving the car its head there. He's not pinching it down, not taking a chance of maybe getting it back out.
Around Rusty Wallace, he's working his way to 34th in that crushed and battered car number 2. Heartbreaker for him tonight, as it has been for so many. And down out of the 4th corner. North Carolina zone. Dale Jarrett has done it. He has won the 600, the 37th running of it. Dale Earnhardt will come home in second place. Ford has won tonight at Charlotte under the lights. Going over $1 million on the season is Dale Jarrett, and stepping as close as you can get to the Winston Million. The only thing between him and it, 500 miles at Darlington, South Carolina on Labor Day. So the spotlight is now on Victory Lane, and there is Dale Jarrett about to climb out of his automobile, Purolator's winner's circle, and Steve Burns awaiting him after 600 hard miles, the champion.
And Dale Jarrett just pulled into Victory Lane. Dale, boy, you guys flat had him covered tonight. What a race car and what a job you did.
Tell you, what an awesome car. I tell you, Todd Parrott and all the guys did a terrific job. They worked hard all the weeks leading up to this race, and it really paid off. Robert and Doug Yates and all the guys in the engine shop, Steve Allen, Nick Ramey, everybody, John Callis, just a fantastic job. I tell you, it really let me be able to take it easy there and not abuse my car because it was so fast. But, man, this thing just handled like a dream. Anybody could have won this. I'd like to take a lot of credit, but a lot of people could have driven this car and won with it. And I want to thank Ford, Ford Quality Care, Ford Credit, for coming on board this year with us. And we're going to see if we can win $1 million come Labor Day.
I was about to say, you guys are making a habit of winning big races.
Yeah, well, if you're going to win just a few, I guess to win the big ones is the way to do it. And we're going to try to relieve Winston of some money come September. But, you know, didn't gain many points. That 3-car stuff. But we know if we win, we're going to gain some.
So we'll let Dale Jarrett celebrate with the Robert Yates team and head over to Rick Benjamin.
Congratulations. Thank you, Steve. Certainly to Dale Jarrett and his entire crew. Beautiful victory tonight here in the Coca-Cola 600. The Plasticode winning finish award tonight goes to Todd Parrott, the crew chief of the Ford Quality Care number 88 out of the Robert Yates stables. Plasticode is the official spray paint of NASCAR, presenting that winning finish award to the crew chief of the 88 car, Todd Parrott. Plasticode presents $2,000 to the crew chief of the highest finishing Winston Cup team involved in the Plasticode Award program. At the end of the year, the crew chief with the best average finish picks up $25,000. Even more bonus money could go to the 88 team. Congratulations to Todd Parrott and Robert Yates Racing. And we're back at Charlotte in a moment.
The unofficial results on the 37th 600. The Ford wins it, and the top 5 filled out by Chevrolets. 20 lead changes among 8 drivers, 6 cautions, 35 laps, average speed 147. Dale Jarrett came up from the bottom. His father was a two-time national champion, won 50 races. But something Alan Kowicki said holds true for Dale Jarrett. Alan said once, this is not a rich man's sport. It's not easy, but you can start at the bottom and work yourself up. There's no Cinderella story. This is no fluke. There's no magic here. There's no reason it has to end. The key is to be there at the end and to finish. That's what Dale Jarrett did tonight in the 37th annual Coca-Cola 600. For Dick Berggren, Buddy Baker, Rick Benjamin, Randy Pemberton, Steve Burns, Patty Moise, I'm Ken Squire. Good night from Charlotte.